guys, welcome back to the Imaxit YouTube platform. I'm your host JD. If you're new, please do consider hitting the like button, share, and definitely subscribe. If you're a member of the platform, massive respect and thanks for the continuous support. As you saw by the title, we're going to be doing our post-match analysis on all of the games, but preferably Jamaica versus Curacao. Curacao tips Jamaica to the World Cup. We're going to talk about Suriname's situation and then look at where they are and how it's possible for any one of them to reach the next round. So all of that will be included in this one. We are going to have some people joining us throughout this stream because it's going to be more of a Concacaf style, in which we try to bring people from all places to get different perspective on stuff. And then obviously we have the intercontinental conversations to have. And this is all for the people that requested me to make sure I come and do the breakdown. So we will do that as well. But let me start right where we always start, because these are the last two videos I'm going to be doing. The last two videos I'm going to be doing on this thing, which is the fundraiser that we have called El Jamaica. If you are not sure what's going on in Jamaica, you have a hurricane that passed, Hurricane Melissa, damaged the entire country, but definitely inside Jamaica itself, definitely damaged a lot of it. So we had started an initiative 1 week ago. Obviously, I've missed these because obviously games coming in between. So sometimes I need to rest. I'm on a different time zone. So that's why I've not completed my 7 days. So because I've not completed my 7 days, I have to do a video today and one tomorrow in order to try and make up the numbers. Anywhere this finishes, that's what I'm going to actually donate back to Jamaica, and the guys then can get the thing to complete all the transactions needed. Everything will be televised and fully transparent. All right, so we said that we had a target of 2,000 euros. Sounded a little bit extra at the start, but tell you what, people, we have done 3 to 4 streams and we have raised 1,472 euros here. Let me go by and give everybody that donated their bless up. All right, who is anonymous, I won't give bless ups because definitely that's why you're anonymous. Christopher Wisdom donated 43 euros, massive respect. Ryan Stewart's donated 61. Dorian Art Love in the building, big of yourself. Martin Meeks donated 227. Omar Henry 35. Anonymous 43. Lloyd Mitchell 86. Thomas Carter, 34. Anonymous again, 43. Anonymous, 21. So that means you don't have to worry yourself. If you don't want your name to be there, please just put anonymous and let me fulfill the actual dream. Junior McCarthy Lopez, 86. Brandon Stewart, 25. Gart Mangal, 86. Wilbert Walton, 17. Drum Up TV, 50. Anonymous again, 86. Anonymous 253. That's Brian. 51 anonymous right there. Mike Livingston 56. Lascelles 43. Lorenzo my liar virgin 15. Stefan Waugh and Jodine Daly to finish off all the donations. The link is pinned inside this chat, people. The link is pinned inside this chat, so you can click it at the top of the link, the pinned area of the chat itself. Or if you're rewatching the video, you can pin it. You can look at the pinned comment under these videos. I'm going to make sure it's there as well, and you can click it and donate. But it's going to be running between today and tomorrow. And once we are finished, everything will be in Jamaica and on those bases by Saturday the 29th. That's the plan that the guys on the ground has to go there. All right, so that is how it goes, people. Let me chop up things from this point. All right, as you come in, remember to hit like button on any place that you're watching it. Let me know if I'm getting any glitch at any point. All right, I have Lamar Walker said, big up teacher, big up yourself, Lamar. Thanks for being here. Joseph Brown, our brother in the building. Jamrock in the building, big up yourself. Lamar Walker said, no xenophobia over here. It's pure education. No xenophobia needed. Slick deals, blessings. Thanks for being here. Rudolph speed out now, Jamrock saying. We have ZJG now, so big up Imaxit, my brother. You pray for Suriname. We need this weekend beat this team. I never prayed for Suriname. Suriname is good at football and work hard. All right, and believe in their work that they're putting in. I don't believe that prayers get you over anybody else, because I believe that God is a fair God and look at everyone equal and don't necessarily need to make any decision you have to make that decision by the education that you have and the hard work that you put out, and make mistakes much more limited. That's what I believe. ZJG. All right. Yes. Blessings vacation. Phones JA in the building. Massive respect. JD, what you think about bringing back Paula? We're going to get to all of those things. Don't rush the work. Don't rush the work. We're getting through everything. All right. Don't worry. I wasn't here for a day or so. I'm here to break down everything. And I will have other people coming on. GBMs, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Miss Mex, big up yourself. All right. Massive respect. Don't worry yourself. The questions, save them until I'm finished. Save them until I'm finished. All right. Yes. Save them until I'm finished. Andrew, nobody cares what you're saying. All right. And nobody cares. All right. Yes. It's just, I'm telling you straight, Andrew. You're just trying to, you're egotistic, Andrew. I'm calling you out, my brother. All right. Just stop mashing my program, Andrew. All right. Yes. I don't care if Suriname reach anywhere. And I just care if Jamaica will reach anywhere. I just care about people working hard and setting good examples for their generations to come. All right, Andrew, what about that? Work hard, set some example for your people, for generations to come, and don't sell them cocoa juice. If we're educated, help our people to be on the same level as ourselves. That's all. And that's what I stand for. All right? Yeah, man. I don't care who want to beat who and who in their feelings and who emotionals. Because some of you guys are too emotional, and that's a problem. All right? Yeah, man. So let me just focus on the work. Let me move on from helping Jamaica here to going to talk about what the Jamaica Reggae Boys did. All right? I'm not going to fight with Andrew. It's not going to happen today. All right? Yes. Let me go to the information here. Yes, I'm not in it today. I'm not in it today. I don't sell cocoa juice, and I'm not that type of dude. All right? Yes. I'm not that type of dude. And he knows that because I talked to him directly, and I'm going to curse him out when I'm done, but not on the stream. All right. So anyways, guys, this was the format. So for people that never knew anything and just want to learn about what the Concacaf meant, this is how it sets up. All right. So you had Andrew, I'm gonna deal with you when I'm done. So look at the message when I'm done. I'm gonna smoke you. All right. Yes. Anyway, so the Concacaf World Cup qualifiers. This is how the format went. Because it was in Central America, you had 3 teams that would be the host, which is United States, Canada, and Mexico. So with that said, you had all of the other tier teams that would be fighting for position. So the highest seeded teams coming in would be Panama, Costa Rica, Jamaica, Honduras, El Salvador, Haiti, Curacao, Trinidad and Tobago, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Antigua, Suriname, St. Kitts, Dominican Republic, Guyana, Puerto Rico, St. Lucia, and Cuba. Those are the main ones on the higher ranking. But the ranking sometimes can be skewed because some of these countries revamp their system. Curacao was always a team on the level of Panama, Costa Rica, Jamaica, Honduras, because they have so much new players on their team, and those players are playing at higher level than anything in the Concacaf. Period. So that makes them easily one of the top 3 teams. Suriname as well has all new players on their team, and they're playing at higher level than everywhere in the Concacaf as well. So that makes them easily one of the better teams in the top 4. So when you see their performances, it's not by accident. It's not any extra prior they put out. It's just solely because they're good enough to be there. All right. Yes. So these are the schedule that we had. We had 3 rounds. Round 1 that had the weaker teams trying to fight to come up to the bigger team stage. The second round, you had the bigger teams starting to put themselves in. So you had the Jamaica, the Panamas, and those teams. And then after that, the qualifiers that came through to the 3rd rounds, that's what we're going to talk about now. So you're going to start seeing the qualifiers them here. So three groups of 4. That's what it is. A, B, and C. You're seeing here. Panama, Suriname, Guatemala, and El Salvador in Group 1. Group 2, Curacao, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Bermuda. And Group C, Haiti, Honduras, Costa Rica, Nicaragua. So the group finished like this: Panama directly to the World Cup. Suriname, as what we just said, Suriname has all sorts of players, so it makes them much more better than what the rankings would have said. So it's not by accident why Suriname finishes on 9 points, because I think it's only 2 teams directly better than Suriname would be would be Panama and Costa Rica. Any other team they can beat on any other day. And to be honest, they drew with Panama and drew with Costa Rica as well. So they could beat them as well. All right. And both of them, they were leading in. Guatemala, 8 points. Guatemala defeated Suriname on the final day, showcasing that they are a tough team. And I had this group as one of the groups of death. I had Suriname at second and Panama at first, Guatemala third, El Salvador fourth. So people need to go back to my predictions. That's what I said on the first day, what would happen, and it happened. Exactly as how I said it. Maybe not the points, I never gave any points, but if I got everyone in every order, I think that's good. I should get some credit for that. Then we had 80. 80 finished first. 80 had some good amount of talents to their team. Midfield, super talents. Defense, not so much super talents. Forward here, talents as well. They've tipped Honduras and Costa Rica. Costa Rica was an highly rated teams coming in. But with teams adding in 50, 60 million out of talent to their team, it makes them always good. And that's what 80 did to their team. They tipped Honduras and Costa Rica to get to this round. Then we had the Group B. We have Curacao, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Bermuda coming into this one. From day one, we are talking on this channel because this channel is solely on education and not propaganda or in your feelings. All right. And obviously, when you're talking about Jamaica, you always have too much emotions than actual sense. You understand me? So from the first day kickoff, they said it was a soup. People came in our group, said that we should get with the team and all sort of stupidness. Nothing of sense. We were just talking about the education that we had. So the information that was presented to us, Curacao team was equally as good as Jamaica, if not better. And Trinidad and Tobago, they were better than Trinidad and Tobago before as well. So it was always a battle between Jamaica and Curacao, who Jamaica could have added to their team to make them better. And who Curacao would have added to their team. We knew that Curacao would have added literally 6 to 7 new players. I knew that from very early on. They added more than 7 to their team. All right, some of very good quality that would have made every team in the Concacaf bar the 2 top teams, which is Mexico and United States. And I want to say that even some of them might would have made Mexico's team as well. They came into this group. They have gone unbeaten. And to be honest, every single game that they played, aside from the 2 Trinidad game, they deserve to win. All right, every single game they played, they deserve to win. They won one against Jamaica, and they played the second one against Jamaica. Jamaica had some chances because they went long ball and all sorts of chaos happened, and they got some chances. But Curacao had more chances in the game than Jamaica, a million miles. Not look at the stats only. Look at what took place. Blake made 3 actual sliding tackle clearances. Those are big chances because it's the striker and Blake making the difference. Those are big chances. No defender was there. If he beats Blake, it's him and the empty goal 3 times. So all 3 chances that Jamaica got, literally Curacao had that one-on-one with Blake alone. Curacao had 2 other saves from Blake. They had 3 other entries that was big chances as well. So Curacao had more than 10 chances in the same game. I heard people talking about the 3 or 4 times Jamaica hit the post. They weren't watching the game at all. Curacao was far better than Jamaica in that game. Far better. They never set up for no draw at all. They set up to play through Jamaica, which I told you they're going to do, and to mark out Cephas. And they did that very well. Because Cephas did nothing in the game at all. Because Jamaica never knew how to get the players off Cephas. Jamaica never knew how to get the player off Cephas, and that's what changed everything. All right, yes. So Curacao deserved to make it because they were the better team. Over the 2 legs, they weren't better than Trinidad and Tobago. I would say that. All right, and congratulations to Curacao. For Jamaica now, I thought that Jamaica never. I heard the president stated that they under what he said. Let me use the right word because I don't want to lie on him. They never view the teams at the same level. That's what he said. Like what's the word I'm looking for, Andre?
I think they were concerned about Trinidad.
They overlook these teams. They overlook these teams. That's the right way to say it. They overlook these teams. That's what the president says. And his next statement is a lot of local coaches are doing well. Underestimate, thank you. Underestimate is the word, sorry, because my brain is going miles a minute. You know, yeah. So underestimate the other teams. That's what the president came out and said. And then he said a lot of coaches doing well that's from Jamaica. So next coach is going to be a local coach. Those are two of the worst statements I've ever heard, Andre. Because every one of Curaçao's players, I'm going to put up Curaçao's players on the screen now, so you could get to see it. All Curaçao's players are actually professional players that you can click and get the information for them instant. So is that a sign, Andre, to say that Jamaica was just not doing anything at all? They are not scouting anybody. They know nothing at all? Because he's pretty much saying that they knew nothing at all about these teams. And what would that say about a federation saying that they underestimated professional players? Like, let me put up Curaçao on the screen now. You're going to see that Curaçao, all of these players, I'm going to go on the next slide while we do this. So while we do this, all of Curaçao's players are registered players. So, Andre, what do you think took place there for him, and what kind of statement that he would be making?
Well, it's possible that he can be talking out of turn, right? Because I think one of the things is that there's a lot of people think or believe, and they have a right to, that they know football because they could identify maybe a pattern of play or when a pass should be played or not. But football is way bigger than that, because you're talking about something. You know, if the coach had an opportunity to talk about this, the coach might speak differently, right? Because it's his responsibility. So sometimes we have people weighing in on football in areas that they don't truly understand or did the time to do the work to understand what they are looking at. So and so it could easily allow one to draw the conclusion that either the work was not done or somebody don't know what they're talking about.
Okay, right, but that man is in position of the top, Andre. So what he says goes. So that make me feel like it's not in the right hands, because if you don't have the education that's required to get the job done, that would seem like you never prepared. You just went out there thinking that you're just better than every team.
So I can tell you, and that is possible, that some people think like that. You hear that narrative in the space. I've always warned since I came into this space that Jamaica is in the best position to qualify for the World Cup from the English-speaking Caribbean. But I've also warned that if Jamaica don't take care of its business properly, then that may not happen. Okay? And what that meant was, you need to get everybody on the same page. People have to understand their remit. They have to be capable of doing their job, and they have to do their job, right? We have to be in it for the right reason, because football is a very given sport, but you have to give back to football as well, as otherwise football don't take care of you, right? I think a lot of times we have our individual motives, right? And that hurts the outcome. That hurts the outcome. So I don't know if he's saying that because that's what he understands, that's what he knows, or he's saying that, sometimes we are looking for excuses to explain what took place, right?
Okay. Fair enough. Because why I said that, because I look at things as what it should be looked at least. Right. That's what I want to think. Right. So I know that you are the man at the helm. So I expect when I heard from you, I should be hearing, we need to hear that what went wrong.
Right.
What we could be doing to fix what went wrong. You know? So I wanted to get clarity from you. Right. And based on what you're telling me, it's a strong possibility that he doesn't even know what he's talking about. So how is it we should be having people in these positions that we're questioning if he knows what he's talking about? You understand me? That seems that we're already on the wrong footing.
I agree with you 100%. I listened to an interview after the Trinidad game the other night, right? And the head coach is saying that he's making a case for his job, that he had a streak at home where he didn't lose any games, right? A streak of about 5 games. Okay, but nobody in the media was able at that moment to say, look, yeah, you had a streak where you didn't lose any game for 5 games at home, but the coaches before you, right, did better than that. Angus Eve went for 7 games where he didn't lose a game. You understand what I'm saying? So we find in the space where we have sometimes people are not asking the right questions because they may like the individual. You hear that a lot. You know, I like JD, so I wouldn't hold him accountable. I wouldn't put him in a tough spot, right? And that interferes with our ability to do our job properly. Not because I'm holding you accountable, it doesn't mean that I doesn't like you.
Wow. So I love the direction I went with that, Andre. So what that is saying, what that is saying to us then, Andre, it's like we're doing things pretty much like our feelings. So how can we? How can any one of these regions be successful with people that's trying to do things the right and proper way?
It's almost impossible to be successful. It's almost impossible to be successful because I'm going to tell you, football is a very nuanced sport, right? And I think people struggle with that idea. And we try to take some hard truths. Recently in the region, you know, coaching education was introduced, and nobody anybody in their right mind would have a problem with coaching education. But people started to take some hard and fast positions because of the information they were now receiving through coaching education. That, again, if you look at it from a nuanced perspective, you can't really take those positions if you understand football. I'll give you an example. You hear a lot of talk about the coaches need to be living on the island to be successful to coach a national team, whether it's Jamaica or Trinidad, or you hear that stuff.
Yes.
And that makes sense. But that's not the case for everybody, because we just saw Haiti qualified for the World Cup. Their coach
doesn't know Haiti.
He's never been on the island, right? He's never been on the island. All the players play overseas, and look, that can play to their benefit.
Andre, please, because those points are too big. I wanted to repeat that just a while ago. What you just said about Haiti's coach?
Haiti's coach has never been on the island for 18 months, ever since he's been hired. Right? He's never set foot in Haiti.
Never been on the island.
Right? Everything was done overseas. He was communicating with the federation. And my God, we have to think that I'm sure they're not perfect.
So Andre, we are seeing so that myth have been debunked, because we have seen coaches that never touched the island. We have seen players that never born on the island, and a whole team, 2 whole teams in this World Cup qualifiers have never touched the island or never born on the island, and they're giving every single thing, and they're in this World Cup mixed.
And as a matter of fact, they played their home games away from the island in Curacao, right? So,
and they play their home games out of the island as well. So everything is going against them, and they still qualify.
That's the exception, but they made it work, right?
But Andre can't be the exception. Andre can't be the exception, because 2 other teams that's in the qualification, Curacao, nobody comes from Curacao. Suriname, nobody comes from Suriname.
Well, I'm preempting the counter argument, right? I'm trying to take it off the table, right? But these are situations. If we look around a little bit, we're going to realize that there's something wrong. There's something wrong, because I've always supported Jamaica qualifying for the World Cup. It looks today like it's not going to happen, right? It's a very small percentage whether or not it happens. And it's unfortunate. And what we have to look at, I've listened to a lot of conversations, I've read a lot of stuff since the game, and there's a lot of blame being thrown around. But what happens off the football field affects what happened on the football field. And to try to blame it all on the players or on the coach, I don't think it's fair. I think it's unfair.
Yes, I heard a lot of things. I heard even Rudolph Speed, literally, he got the job of advising the coach. and then he's removing himself from all blames. I was shocked when I'm saying, oh, this makes sense. You're just talking about that you're overqualified for a position, and you are pretty much disassociating yourself from every situation that took place. Every player that went on the field, you don't know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about that. So what were you advising on? Are you just there to up on a train of what you deemed would have been successful, or you are doing something? You don't think an inquest should be held at some point, and people should, like, things should happen?
Well, in any serious country, any developed country, that would happen. That would be the natural consequence, right? It cannot be business as usual, because this was an opportunity to earn 10 to 12 million US dollars, right, for the football, to create opportunities for young people. And so far, there's still a chance. We know for sure Trinidad squandered it, right? It was squandered by Trinidad. And if you get put in charge of that amount of resources, or the opportunity to earn that amount of resources, and you don't do it, then you've got a problem. People lose their job, JD, in this country for not making what they call quota if you're in a sales job. And sometimes that quota might be $5,000, right? That's how important the potential to bring revenue in is to any organization, right? So if that opportunity is lost, there must be an inquest. There must be questions asked as to why did this happen.
And should the information out of it, because they like to say that it's a private entity, which I can't understand. Oh, it is even a private entity in the first place, but they said it is. Should it be public? Should it be the information that was said, or it should, like, the inquest should be run publicly? You don't think that? Because I think that's how it should go, you know?
Well, we know in the region, transparency is difficult for people to live up to, right? So FIFA did a report on the MAs, and that report is something that should have been used to advance the MAs, and what happened? We've never seen it, right? Whether it's Jamaica or Trinidad, and a few people shared Trinidad, but the federation itself has never shared it, because nobody wants to be held accountable. Nobody wants to be held accountable. Okay. So I agree with you. It should be something done public. It should be something that, because you see, I looked at the Jamaican fans recently, and in light of what just happened in Jamaica with the hurricane, a successful World Cup campaign would have done a lot for Jamaicans in this moment, right? Just that feel-good factor. Because when you compare that to the celebration of the Haitian people in the streets on Tuesday night, and the people from Curacao, and it's just an amazing accomplishment, right? And if we were able to accomplish that at a time that it couldn't be any easier, JD, it just couldn't be any easier, whether it's Jamaica or Trinidad or whatever. The thing about Trinidad is, I just know they haven't done enough. But it was still within reach. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes. I agree.
But Jamaica had all the resources. I don't think that they were short of anything.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little, Andre. A little.
Yes,
but I think you're back now. You're back. Okay. You're just back. Let me pause for a minute, Andre. So please, people, we saw that we have 20 likes on one video, and 20 on the next. So please do take a time out and hit the like button, so the visibility of the stream could go up. All right. I know the conversation might be very much coherent, and you like it. So if you like it, you make sure you pay that way forward by hitting the like button, because we're trying to present things that we think make sense. Because at the end of the day, it is better we are looking for these countries, regardless of what people would say. All right. Yes. So that's what we're trying to look for, these countries. Go ahead, Andre. Sorry about that. I just wanted them to know that maybe they missed the like button. And we're going to get to all countries. Don't worry yourself. We have 2 hours to go, and we're just starting on the problematic situations first, and see if we can put some light at it, So maybe even if others don't want to take the ideas, they can still look back at it at some point and get the ideas from it. Yeah, sorry about that, Andre. Go ahead.
Do you think that they will do an investigation as to what took place?
No, I don't think they would. Because the problem is, based on their responses, it seems like they thought that nothing was wrong. They just hit the post a few times, and they were unlocked. I heard that's coming from people inside the federation. It was a good game. It was a good game. So that means they're satisfied. And the reason why I tend to believe that that's how more of them thinking, that is similar to how Mr. Spade talk, because Mr. Spade loved to say that they can play football without midfield. And that is exactly what I saw. So it looks like the advice is that he would have gave, but he claimed that he never gave any advice at all. So I'm confused. How can a man play the same football as you that he wasn't playing before? And you said that you haven't given any advices, and then they're saying they're okay with it, just unlocked.
Yeah, it's I would be as confused as you as well, because there's a couple of things. A successful senior national team, men's national team in particular, helps fund the pyramid of football. Right, there's a tremendous amount of resources. We just had $1 billion passed around in the Club World Cup. Nobody from the English-speaking Caribbean was there. Not a dime went to the Caribbean, right? I think that's significant. And it looked like the same thing outside of, and when I say the English-speaking Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Jamaica.
And Jamaica have.
But mainly those two. Merely those top two.
Mainly those two, right? And it don't seem as though anybody will benefit from that. Jamaica has a small chance, and maybe football has a funny way sometimes of playing things out. But it looks, this phase of the playoff is much more difficult than the previous phase, right?
Yes, I would agree with that.
Right? It's much more difficult. So it's hard to say if you're thinking rationally. It's hard to think that it's going to happen, but we know football and anything could happen on the day. That's why you still have to play the game. But in terms of something being wrong, first to begin, if it doesn't happen, that's a lot of money going down the drain. But we just witnessed within the past 12 months, we had an opportunity with the under 17. It didn't happen. Both countries. Yes. With the under 20.
It didn't happen, both countries.
The under 17 women, it didn't happen, right? The Gold Cup with the women team previous to that, just after they came out of the World Cup. So there seems to be a pattern, right? And the thing about patterns is either it worked for you or it doesn't work for you. So something to conclude that nothing is wrong, there might be some challenges mentally there.
All right, well said, Andre. Well said. All right, so we have Lux Life Son donated 9.99. All right, so all donation, even though you guys might be donating it to the channel, will still go to the hurricane relief. So if it doesn't come, I'm going to take all super chats, even what came before the hurricane relief, straight to the hurricane relief, because maybe if I don't reach the 2,000, I have to use the super chats from these contents to try and push up the money. All right, so thanks very much, Lux Life, for that. All right, yeah, man. We have a good amount of comments. We have Kush here said, which English-speaking Caribbean them is going to make this correction now going forward? I think a lot will do. Some will be. That's my take. Andre disagree with me, but some will do it, and I want to think that it's a smaller one. The smaller ones, I think, will go in and try to do it. Smaller one that doesn't have the amount of resources, so maybe they will still do it in Andre, but it won't show because it won't be successful because who they are competing with. That is a slight difference. But they might still be doing it, you know?
No, I agree with you. And I'm going to phrase it this way, because if we look around, we can see one or two, already making changes, right? But I'm going to phrase it this way. Any one of those islands that decide to give back to football right, as opposed to take from football only, right, they would make a turnaround. Football, you can't just take from football all the time. And I think there's a lot of that happening in the Caribbean. Football is very generous, very generous. It gives a lot, right? I know a lot of guys. I myself benefited from football. I came to this country. I went to college because of it. I had my tuition paid for. Football is a very given sport to a lot of us, but we cannot continue to take from it and not give back.
All right. So let me try and bring on a person. We have another guest, Andre. Let me try and get this one up first. Let me put him on. All right. So we have Francis, I think. Hello, Francis. How are you doing?
How you doing today, fellas?
Good. How are you doing, Francis?
I'm blessed. Thank you very much for asking.
We're here just trying to do our wrap up because I never really did any post-match analysis. And if I don't do a post-match analysis online, I will have to do it in my WhatsApp. So I prefer to just do it here. So at least it's recorded and registered. So that's what we are pretty much doing. And we are looking at some of the situations to help to see it, because obviously we are in football, but not in the Caribbean. But we are looking back to see what can improve, because we just saw two Netherlands teams, pretty much. So Netherlands lower tiers came to the Concacaf region, and they didn't look like the Concacaf understood how to deal with them, even if they never qualified directly. And Jamaica pretty much trying to force the mixture, and it's not looking like it's working at all. It's not working at all. Yeah, so that's what we're trying to discuss. We were in the conversation. We're going to go to everything else, like the draws and the games as well. So we just kept trying to catch you up. So what are your takes on what you heard so far?
For me personally, well, definitely big up to everybody in the comment section. Those that are watching. For me, when it comes to the teams that have qualified and the teams that have fallen short, it comes down to preparation. You know what I mean? And in case of starting with Jamaica, I think the preparation wasn't the greatest. And so we stumbled and we fell, and we relied on things that we are good at, but we did not work towards them to make them better than what they needed to be. So like, we know that we have strengths in certain areas, and instead of trying to, enforce that we work on those areas, we support those areas, we just relied on those areas. And it's not difficult. The ball is round. Everybody watches film. You can't expect to just come with one style of play, one mindset, and expect it's going to work against every single team. And we found that out the hard way. Disrespecting our opponents, saying, it's easy and soup group and all these other nonsense. You giving bulletin board material and more wood to, to the other teams for their fire. So they're fired up even more to prove the things that are being said. It just never helped as well.
Okay. So I think I've agreed with almost everything I said, but you don't believe that maybe the separation in quality wasn't there, because sometimes what you're saying, even with all of that, you can always cheat football, as to what Andre said. You can always get over the line because you're just more talented than the next team. So you don't believe that because the separation wasn't there, that little gimmicks that they have always played couldn't work this time. Because a player can individually stop Cephas, one player, and then one does his job and still half-mass Cephas, and then dominates your team based on just stopping Cephas easier than a smaller team. You don't believe that closeness to the quality played a bigger part than the other gimmicks that they've always pulled to motivate other teams of beating them?
Well, yeah, for sure. Because at the end of the day, we're not every team's gonna have a ton of talent. Everybody's gonna have talent, but it's all about the preparation that you have with the talent as well, right? It's preparation meets opportunity. So I feel like the other teams might not have been as talented on paper as the Reggae boys in terms of having as much players, but at the end of the day, it's a team game. It's who plays the best team game. And if you have your talented players and you surround them with other players who understand what their assignments are, understand what it is that is the mission, then it makes it even easier for them to get the job done. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I heard you, but I wanted to just get out because for me, I don't think Jamaica had better talents than Curacao. I think that Curaçao's team was actually better than Jamaica's team. The top talents them are equal, but the rest of the talents them straight through Curacao had better talents, because what they did, they just go through professional players overall. What we did now, we have to force talents and force players on the field, because we had that forced mixture. For some reason we couldn't find at the bottom tier of the talent. So for instance, Kevin Lambert, they chose to say, okay, I'm going to go into JPL for a player instead of put on Kevin Lambert. So they could have matched the same balance of talent as Curacao, you know. But maybe because they had other obligation, they just tried to go that direction. So I thought that Curaçao's team was actually better than Jamaica's team on a wider base. The higher talents them equalize themselves, or whatever you want. What you want to say, but I thought that right throughout the team, they were much more better at the bottom end. So you're sending on younger players, they have they can follow that identity of their team. I saw Jamaica putting on younger players, i.e. Dujan Richards. And he's not listening to what the coach telling him to do. He's kissing his teeth and walking on because he thought he should have started. Dujan Richards can't make Curaçao's team. And I'm not asking you. He can't make Suriname's team either. It's just not possible. And he's not listening. So you see what happened right there? Literally, you are not one of the highest rated players. You are one of the lower rated players, but your ego and I clearly, after the game finishes, so this is after, I saw why he believed that he was one of the better players then, not on the field, because his owner came out and said that the player that should save Jamaica is on the bench. You understand me? So I think a lot of those things of a fact and the result, you know, of a play on that result. You understand me? Because if you believe these things, you know, and the players come into camp with these things, that offset every single thing, you know. You know why? Because it doesn't matter what the coach tells you. You believe that you're better than everybody on the field. So if you're going to get 20 minutes, you're not satisfied with 20 minutes. So subconsciously, you know what you start to do? Down tools. Andre, you don't you follow the line of reasoning?
No, I follow you because look, football is about the collective and it's not about no one individual. Because as Francis said earlier, people could watch video, they can figure out what's going on with you. So it's about the collective. It's also about professionalism, mentality, right? It's how we behave. I saw some pictures and I saw pictures, but I'm still going to say, if it is true that players were out until early hours of the morning, if you came up in a professional system, some of the information they will share with you is about sleep, how important sleep is in order to be able to perform at your best ability. So to 24 hours, 48 hours before a match, an important match like that, if players are out, that shows that they are extremely unprofessional. And we're putting on their backs the responsibility of earning 9, 10, 11, 12 million dollars, right? Depending on where you end up in the thing. So I agree with you 100%. It's not just what happens on the pitch, and to be looking at an individual, right? And the player in question that you're talking about, who has not played a professional game as yet, who has a tremendous amount of talent.
Not played a professional, Andre, not played a professional game.
I think it's unfair to him. I think it's unfair to the player. I think it's unwise because it's just not a situation that is winnable. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you have other players around who because they've been playing professionally, they've shown they can do the job.
Andre, I agree with everything. JD, I agree with what you're saying because one of the main things that you said in what you were saying was team, the bottom half of the team, right? But it's still a team. We got to come together as a team.
Yeah, because you have to join, you have to meet at the peaks, right?
So if you really look at it, right? If you really look at it, we are top heavy and bottom heavy, and we don't got nothing in the middle to bring it together. We put a 20 man squad together, and we had no midfield. So it comes back again to the balance that you have in the team. So when you're talking about the talent, I agree with you. It's the high-end talent on both teams kind of cancel each other out. But as you go further down the lineup, it kind of fizzles out in terms of talent, and then bring it together as a team. And Andre made a great point. Lack of discipline. Where is the leadership? I said, if you need a speech, if you need motivation in the biggest game that you can make history, legacy is on the line. You can put your name in history. If you need to be motivated, you're not ready. You're just not ready. So if all these things are happening,
that's a good point.
Allegedly, you're not ready. You got to be locked in. The time is now. If you call yourself a big ball professional, you need to be pep talked. You need to be patted on the back. You needed to be pumped up for a moment like this. To me, you're not ready.
Let me just chip in right here because I comment and I had to block him from my channel because I'm on a mission to eradicate low IQ responses from my platform. I don't care if I lose subscribers because I never did it for subscribers. My interest is always to educate my people, not to fool my people. I don't want to be a slave master son. I want to be one of the slaves them that improves my people. That is always my attitude towards life. Just a while ago, I said, I don't think Whisper makes Curacao our Suriname team. I don't think Whisper is educated enough to make a lot of teams. I was the first one here bragging and telling that Whisper is the best player in Jamaica. I have watched him enough. I have learned enough about him because I've watched actions and I have done coaching, not in Jamaica or not in Trinidad. It's coaching school, so I know what to look for. So I said that I don't think he can make Curacao or Suriname's team because Curacao or Suriname's team doesn't look for what you want. What Jamaica team is what Whisper is. What Jamaica team is today is what Whisper is. Lack of discipline and full of ego with no actual direction. Because he's a last kid. So I don't want to go further into that, but I'm just telling you, that's what I see it as. So you should have just listened to what I was saying. Football is different. It's different. You can claim that an X-Man can score 55 goals. But if one team is a long-playing team, let's talk, he can play with that. But if an next team is a technical team that rely on a team principle, Curacao passed the ball. You know how much time, Francis, you know how much time Curacao could have kicked the ball long and run past Jamaica because they did it and they were successful. And yes, what they did, they kept it and put it back to Camencia, then back to Bakuna, and then split it through to Kenji Ore because they realized that, okay, because me and Nebekisa has 55 to 44 running pace, if I get him to stop, and I'm already 35 in my 55 running, you have no chance. And that's what they did. Football is about education. And if you keep on thinking about your ego, and that's why I don't believe in this, oh, I need to pray before the game starts, and I need to this and that because it's going to give me an edge. No, it's not going to give you an edge. That means you're never prepared. And that's why I love that statement that you just made. If you don't prepare, you start look for every other avenue to say that this is going to help you. No, preparation helps you because it minimizes your chances of making more mistakes because you have plan A and plan B and plan C. So I respect what you said, Francis, but you realize how the fan base react. That's why these people can get away with these things. Because look how fast he's ready to disrespect me, you know. He never understood what I said there, but he wants to disrespect me. So his mean of communication is to disrespect me rather than understanding what I just said.
I get it all. I get it all the time. I get it all the time. I say it all the time. Preparation meets opportunity. You have an opportunity to write history. History. How well did you prepare? It will show. The game of football, it will show how well you prepared. It's plain and simple. It doesn't matter about how positive you are. It don't matter how much you believe. It don't matter. None of that matters. Once that whistle blows and that ball starts to roll, it's how well you prepared. How ready are you mentally to get the job done? The rest don't matter. So I totally understand. That's why I say it all the time.
Man. So you know, sorry to cut you off because I wanted to just roll in back to this.
Yeah, man, you're
good. We have some players because I heard people asking me, so what is the solution? So I wanted to bring Andre in and yourself. What is the solution?
What is the solution to be more specific?
Like, what is the solution to fix these? You know what? I'm not going to even ask that question because it's like we're putting band-aid over the crop. Over the crop. So it's not a valid question.
Don't band-aid it. Don't band-aid it.
Yes, because based on how we are speaking, it looks like it's worse than even a band-aid over the crack situation.
Right. So it is bad. And if you want to fix it, if you're talking about fixing the whole ecosystem of football on any of these islands, or if you're just speaking about fixing Jamaica's situation right now, I don't know what the answer would be for that as far as the senior men's team is concerned. But if we're speaking about football on the whole, there's some things that we need to the first thing, we need administrators who are going to make decisions that's in the best interest of the young people that's playing football on the island. That's the first thing we got to do, right? People who have empathy and who is willing to put the young people first. That's the first thing. Secondly, we need to put in place a development system. This idea that somehow schoolboy football that's played 4 months a year on any of the islands is going to develop our players to compete at the highest level.
Come on, Andre, talk.
That's not true. It's just not going to happen, right? Schoolboy football serves the adults who graduated from school but never really left school, right? So it gives them something to do. They send uniform, they get something to watch, something to boast about. It gives them something. And this may not be popular, but we need players, our elite footballers on the island need to be going to football clubs with proper infrastructure when the day come to learn to play football, to be educated, to know how to behave, right? And that doesn't happen overnight. So we need to overhaul the whole system and put people in place who's willing to give back to football. And giving back to football means that you are preparing young people for life, whether it's in football or out of football.
Well said. JD, I have a thought I want to ask you. I want to ask you this for a second. You guys let me know. Not to throw your show off, okay? We played against two teams that are strong in the midfield, in Trinidad and Curacao, that played through the midfield. And a lack of preparation, we didn't bring no midfielders for these two most important games. This is what we're talking about when you're talking about schoolboy football, tying it back in. The preparation, giving our youngsters an opportunity, infrastructure, system, something that they can look forward to, something that they can grow from. Football education. Not you pile man and you nutmeg him and you dribble 2 times. No, I'm talking about actual football education. What's your thoughts?
For me, I think if you listen to Mr. Craig Butler and Mr. Speed, they tend to always try to avoid, because I'm going to say this, and if people think it's disrespectful, it's disrespectful because I can't phrase it any other way. I think there are two egotistic individuals that don't look for, they can't man up to know that they don't know something. So it's like they're in a position that is bigger than them, but they came into a small. They are bigger than they're bigger than the people that they are serving, but the position is bigger than them. You understand me? So instead of them knowing that they have a flaw and they don't know this, they wait until they learn it the hard way. So what both of them actually went on to sell is Jamaica what Jamaica is good at is speed. Sad to tell the people, Jamaica is not the fastest footballing country. Nor the second, nor the third, nor the fourth, nor the fifth, nor even the top 10. So that story is a lie. So what they did, they walk around and tell you that we need to play speed football. You know why? You know why, Francis? Because it's the easiest way to scam football. Put a bunch of white players in and try to run and oversize yourself. So they use some big, gigantic player at young age to go in areas and then fool people to say that, see, we can win games when you're 6 foot and the next player is 2 foot odd, but they're actually learning football and will develop in their man body. And that's why when we reach bigger stage, when everything equalizes out, you can't scam football anymore. because now you have to work through the midfield a little bit more, because you will try to like Cephas and get caught out because a man block you there and the next person just put a zonal chop around you, take the ball from you, and then play through the non-existent midfield. And then your center backs have to be squaring off with everybody. So it is flat out lack of education, but you have a bunch of egotistic men that can't serve the people well, and because they are benefiting out of the naivety coming from the people. That's what I think. And I have facts to prove it, because I'm seeing it from youth 15s up to the senior team. That's what I think.
I said the same thing too, watching. I'm like, where is the 10? We just overpowering these little teams. These other teams are little. We're just overpowering them. But when we get on the same level, look at it. They were goading. Curacao was like, come on, Cephas, kick it by us. Kick it by us. Go ahead. Kick and run. Kick and run. Because we have somebody sitting back there waiting. As soon as you push it by us, the second defender's waiting to just take the ball from you. Go ahead, Andre.
Could I the idea I've been hearing the conversation about Jamaica went without midfielders. And in some instances, I think people speaking about the quality of the midfielders. I've heard in some instances they talk about the number of midfielders, right? Look, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think about this. In football, defenders are expected to complete 80 to 95% of the passes.
Yes.
Right? That's the expectation.
Yeah.
In that game against Curacao, right? The Jamaican defenders, nobody was out. One person, Ethan Pinnock, was at 75%, which is still below the threshold. Everybody was in the 60s, everybody else, in terms of pass completion. Okay? Blake had the highest of the back five with 81% pass completion, right? But if you put that against the number of long balls that they played and how much they completed, I don't know that the midfielders are being asked to be part of the football.
Yeah, but Andre, that is a part of our conversation here. That is a part of our conversation just a while ago, but maybe not others.
Right, it's 28% pass completion among the five of them in the back in terms of long balls played. Right, some play more than others. Okay, I think Lee played the least among. So there's a lot of, as I said earlier, it's hard to try to figure out what the problem might be today with the football, but from a broader perspective, the whole thing needs to be. I know coaches, after they play in the Caribbean, they like to say we need to go back to the drawing board. We seriously need to go back to the drawing board now as far as the ecosystem of football is concerned, because this cannot be seen as anything other, and I'm speaking about all of them, as a failure, a massive failure. And it must be a turning point in terms of who runs football and how we run football in the Caribbean.
There's no way to look at it other than failure. Massive failure.
I mean, there's a lot of money right on the doorstep. Trinidad is 3.5 hours from Miami. Jamaica is what, hour and a half? Right? And we know at least 1 billion passed through already. How is our football going to grow? Football, you have to have money to grow football.
So Andre, because we were talking about it, but what you said tied into what we were saying. Because if you don't have the midfield existing, because remember, you always have a 6, Andre, to come and take the ball off a defender, present those avenues. If you have only a defensive midfielder and you're under pressure and he's trying to screen, he can't come back to take the ball off you because he's already trying to defend. You understand me? And then the next one that you're having there is a central forward. So a central forward beside him playing a role. You know how difficult that is, Andre, for him to stay composed and not leave his position. And I think that's what took place. And it only left some of the centre backs them to play one way. I think one plays one way, but I can tell you that Ethan Pinnock can play normal. Like, he will play the ball short and make the midfielders work, because I saw it for Brentford. He makes short passes and he's a 90% success. 90% success rate for Brentford under pressure. So it tells you that he can do his job. So you're right. I think they have left with no option, maybe both of them, to go along, because if you don't have anyone present the screen to take the ball, one is screening and one can't take the ball off you. So what is there? And then your fullbacks them get isolated by the wingers, them already screening your two fullbacks. So you have to put it further. You have no other option. And then they have the ability now to block out one of your wingers then, because the next one is not as fast. So you can do one-on-one isolation with him. And the next one you can afford two, because you already outnumber them.
Yeah, it would be good to hear from the players, some of them, from a on-field perspective, what that experience is like. Because a lot of times, as fans, as coaches or whatever, we share information based or opinions based on our perspective, how we see it. And the people who are actually living it, we don't get to hear from them often. It'd be interesting, just from a pure football. I'm not talking about an interview or some. When players speak to you privately, sometimes they give you the real scoop, right?
Yeah, off the record.
Yeah, it would be interesting to hear what their experience was like on the pitch, because that game was a game that it was a big game. Jamaica was playing at home. The stadium was packed, and throughout the campaign, just the inability to perform. I mean, that group of players with 30-something% possession in any football matches, it's just difficult to comprehend. It really is.
Okay.
So you
all right.
Matches.
You go ahead, Francis.
So
go ahead, and then I can come in, Francis.
We was pretty much 10 men down with Demario Gray standing on the right side of the field. Demario Gray does not use his left foot. Putting him on the right side is forget about it. Did you guys see in the game Demario Gray cut the ball back in on the left foot? All he had to do was square it into the box, and he said absolutely not, and put it back on his right foot and went down the line and turned over the football. So you got to make a decision there. Putting him on the right side he's ineffective, very ineffective, because he wants to cut it back in on that right foot. So you got to play him on the left or in the middle. He is ineffective on the right side of the field. We understand he doesn't have the pace. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no. What I wanted to put in, maybe that's the reason why they put him there, because of what they wanted him to be a cut in. But the problem is nobody's there. You're mixing up your system. If you're playing a long ball system, you can't have a next player wants to cut in, because there is no control. And that's what I think I saw missing from the Jamaica team. It wasn't anything. Everything was chaotic and no control. You understand me? And you're talking about a player that is a Rolls Royce type of more controlled player.
Thank you.
So he's not relying on that type of playing. So I agree with you. He shouldn't be on the pitch. Not because he's not good enough. Maybe because he's too good for this system.
There you go.
Understand me?
There you go.
You could be. You're right, but people would think that you're fighting against them. No. It's because he's too good enough for the style of play. He wouldn't fit this system to be running down football. You might have to go with other guys that likes that style. And maybe Mr. Butler and those guys are right. They're right in their instance, Andre. They're right in what they can understand. Yeah. But how much that's going to translate to real life football, I think it's not going to translate to nothing. More than just as though he wins some Manning Cup games, and as soon as he meets CC, 60,000 passes go around him and he loses every game. That's exactly how it's going to work. But you have more CC teams in the real life in Concacaf. So they can go with this strategy to suit their needs of their style of players. But it's not going to translate, Francis, to real life football.
But think about it. Think about it for a second. Let's not forget, people. Let's not forget when Coach McLaren joined this team, he made a proclamation. He made a declaration about 4 or 5 times in press conferences. I'm looking for players who want the ball, who can dominate the ball. I need specialists to be special. He's looked at Demario Gray. He looked at Lee. I need my specialists to be special, to do special things. But they clearly told him, we don't play that style of football. He wanted to play possession style football. Did you see his thoughts change as the years and the months went by? His thoughts just changed because he's realizing that time and time again, we don't play that style of football. That's not the style of football we play here. So even if you want to carry the players in the, we don't play that style of football here. That's all I'm hearing.
But that's a strong question. If that's what I'm seeing, I would agree with you that we don't play certain style of football. But what that tells you then, because you have to recruit what you play, right, Andre? You have to recruit what you play to fit your system. That's why it's a system. So are we just recruiting players because of recruitment's sake then?
Well, but let's go even further back. That is something that I would think would have been trashed out in the interview process, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would hope so.
Right. So that shouldn't be a problem along the way. It shouldn't be a problem. Either it wasn't discussed or somebody changed their mind along the way.
Exactly.
Either one, it's a problem. This is an opportunity, or was an opportunity to qualify for a World Cup. And you had room for very little mistakes. We have seen, it's no secret that the teams in the region have been developing. They've been growing. We have Dominican Republic sending teams to the Under-20 World Cup. World Cup. The football has been developing. So there was very little room, if any at all, for mistakes, right? And again, there's no excuse in my mind for Trinidad as well, because if you didn't prepare, as you said, Francis, if you didn't prepare, I don't think you could expect to go. But at the same token, when the group came out, right, you had a chance to be at least one of the best second place team, right? And people talk about Trinidad's performance, and right, the numbers reflect that. But at the end of the day, the job is to win football matches and qualify for the World Cup. That's the responsibility. And there's so many things that seem to have went wrong, right? What it has happened in that Jamaica was in the Gold Cup, just like Trinidad. They played in Copa America. So there was lots of opportunities for preparation, lots and lots of opportunities. And to get to this point of the last three windows and struggle with the three teams in that group, it's hard to see how the next two games is going to be, if there's two games,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let me just move a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
We want to move a little bit faster because James asking if this is just to talk about Reggae Boyz. But I said this in particular video was to talk about Reggae Boyz and everything else. But we are going to give Reggae Boyz more time because the video that I did early on was just for the overall situation. All right. Yes. No, my channel is not about none of my channels are about Jamaica. It's all about football because I never built a channel on just Jamaica. I'm a Jamaican, so that's why I did Jamaican stuff. You understand me? But it's always a general situation. We talk Trinidad. Andre's here talking Trinidad. We're talking Trinidad, but we have to point out things because you have to remember it was Trinidad and Jamaica failed. Those are the teams that we expected to do something more. So it makes us have to focus on them a little bit extra. So I'm just giving it extra. So maybe I don't have to answer it in my cell phone. So sorry if you think that we went too long on the topic. We're going to move on a little bit now. Let me just run through the ratings here of the players them. All right. So for Jamaica team, Lembe Kisa got a 6.8 here. I thought it would have been a little bit less. I thought that Lembe
Kisa. Before you say that,
JD,
before you go on, between now and there's going to be a lot of other streams by a lot of other people about Jamaica football. I hope Chris wouldn't be listening.
Only.
I hope he wouldn't go listen to them.
No, I don't think a lot of people listen to only me. Believe me, a lot of people, and because maybe they want everything in total, and maybe I give Jamaica too much time. But I said I'm going to give Jamaica a lot more time today. So yeah, so I'm sorry that James turned up at that time. Sorry, James, but we have to do it. All right, we have to do it. All right. Yeah. So Andre Blake, I thought that Andre Blake was the man of the match. Period. Like over everybody, both teams. I thought that Andre Blake, he had 3 outside claims that he had. I never knew that he played those type of football. Because Jamaica got caught out 3 times when no defender, nobody was there, and Andre Blake was the one that made those last challenges. If that wasn't the case, it's 3 tap-ins for Curacao. He made additional saves, world-level saves as well, different from those 3 clearances that he made with one-on-one forwards. He made good position awareness inside the box. He was sliding out at the right-hand side, kicking for throwing, tackling players. I don't know, Andre and Francis, you saw what I saw? I think this was one of the best, most complete game I saw from Andre. Like, he was just all over the place.
Listen, he saved our biscuit, man. He saved our biscuit. I'm telling you.
Look, it's no surprise he's been good he's been the best player in a lot of games that Jamaica played. This particular game, there were times he was in positions on the pitch that you didn't expect him to be, right? Based on what we have seen in the past, and was able to clear some balls and save some situations that could have been one-on-one with him or a clear open goal. So he was very good. I saw the same thing you saw.
All right. Ethan, I think I took everything from what you said. Ethan and King, I thought that King was a lot worse on the defensive side.
Oh my God!
But obviously, he's going to go. Hold on. We're not setting up anybody to beat anybody past the level of recovery, because somebody would beat people into not recovering. So Ethan, I thought that Ethan he did all the fundamentals right because he's a proper professional footballer. He made 2 last ditch clearances as well. Remember, guys, we just said the goalkeeper made 5 clearance stops for Curacao not to score. Ethan made 2 last-ditch saves as well in the same game. So, in the world, I know I'm doing the analysis, and Andre, but in the world, people talking about 3 chances from Jamaica. I'm talking about 2 players, that made 7 last-ditch saves,
Yeah.
We can't be watching the same game.
Sometimes we are not. Sometimes we are not.
Fact.
Curacao was better than Jamaica, even with the 3 headers that we claim to say we got. They would have, if we should count chances for chances, and they got away and with their chances, they would have beaten Jamaica, brother. So let me just say, we did good to get our chances based on what we structure ourselves to do, and it worked out, and we looked like we were trying. But boy, oh boy, I never saw the same over the top trying. I thought that we never played to the best of our ability. All right. So as you saw, Ethan had 2 of 5 ground duels. Errol he had 6 of 8. So needed to clean up the ground duels, and he had 10 clearances. 10 clearances in the game, 1 interception. So 10 clearances, 1 interception. That is what 13, 2 block shots as well. So 13 defensive contribution. And as we said, he was better with the passing, but he still tried a lot more long balls. So I'm going to say that the long balls, he had 4 of 10, which is 40%. That is much better than what King did, because King was the person that I thought that they put in charge for those long balls. And credit to King, he had 4 recoveries, 3 blocks, 2 clearances and 2 interceptions, and 1 tackle one. That was a last ditch as well, the tackle that he won. But on the passing side, he was horrible, and some of the zonings, he was horrible because they kept passing him, kept skinning him. And that's my problem with King, is understanding to read the game and preparing for the challenges. I think these 2 games really exposed him. It showed up his inability how to set himself ready to tackle. It's like people started to target him. I know that Garcia targeted him because he did it to him in Jamaica. So he believed that he could have done it to him again. You understand me? But not other players. Kenji Ore started to target him. You understand me? He cuts in early and don't go to Lemekisa and go straight to him. I don't know if you saw that, Francis. So
finish.
Let me keep my rating and they came in. So for Ethan, I thought maybe I would go down to 7.5. And King, I would give King a 6 maximum or even 5. I thought that he wasn't good enough for me. And this is the second game that I wasn't impressed with him. But he never spent enough time on the Trinidad field for me to give him his right rating. You know, yeah. So 6 and 6 I would give 6 I would give King, and I would give Ethan 7.3 to 7.5. His passing was better. He still made it the last ditch challenges. So the credit that I gave Blake, I have to give him some credit for the last ditch challenges. And the reason why I give King 6 is because he made a last ditch challenge as well. So that is 8 between 3 players.
Go ahead, Andre. You go first.
No, you go ahead.
All right. So for me, Garcia, oh my days, did he put Ethan Pinnock in a blender? He put him in a blender. They must have watched the game. Man, if he spin Ethan Pinnock anymore, he's spinning right back to England, right in the same spot. For me, Ethan Pinnock looked old overnight. It's like he got old overnight. It's like he got old overnight. I'm giving him a 7. Yes, the last ditch tackles happened because of poor defensive positioning. They weren't together on the same page. For me personally, they got stretched in the midfield. So again, they left the back line alone. The midfield, Frey's running all over the place. Who knows where he is? Isaac Hayden's only going to travel so far. So for me, I'm going to give him a 7. In terms of Richard King, man, I've never seen a center back so poor positionally. Like, he cannot mark in open space. In open space, he is so poor. On the ball, he can make the passes, he can travel with the ball, he can do all that. But defensively, if Dexter Lambikisa got to cuss Richard King one more time, he left him pretty much on an island by himself because of just how poor he is position-wise. He cannot mark in space. So I give him a 5. I'm not even going to drag it up.
5 you're giving. So 5 and 7 you give Ethan Pinnock. Andre, I know you don't believe in these ratings, but you have anything to add?
What I would add to this conversation is, as somebody who works with young people, I think when you have players that are 22 and 23 years old, you must believe that they can continue to develop as footballers. And one of the things that I wish we could snap a finger and it goes away, because I think it will get in his way eventually, is Richard King constant gesticulating and arguing and getting involved in things on the pitch that sometimes doesn't even concern him. I think that's a distraction to any team. Any professional coach would tell you that it's a distraction, and I wish that he can take that out of his game. The footballing part of things, if in the right environment, he could continue to improve if he wants to, and if they believe he could improve.
JD,
all right.
I'm not a stat guy. I'm an eye test dude. I'm not really into the stats. I don't really believe in the SofaScore, but I'm going to join along and give you my my rating based off what I've seen, just so you understand. But I'm like,
no, you're big boss. You're just being honest to yourself. It's okay. I am listening to you. And you said you wanted to be on the show. You're giving your take, and I respect your take, because at least you're saying something that you saw happen. You understand me? So even if you don't look at the stats, you still saw something happen. It added to the stats. You understand me? So it's okay. Right. I'm hearing you. Greg Lee, I think Greg Lee, a lot of people don't rate Greg Lee in the national team. But I want to say that over these games, I am more impressed with Greg Lee more than most people. I think Greg Lee have shown a different level. I knew that he had it in him, but I thought that maybe he wanted to play a different football than what Jamaica offered him. He's an ex-player that I think maybe Jamaica just never fitted in him. I watched the game Canada versus Jamaica in Canada. Greg Lee played that game with I think everybody from locally at the back. And that game, I realized that this guy had a different level of footballing education, you know? Yes, so I want to say Greg Lee is up there as one of the better performers on the night. And over both games, I would say, because even in games that Jamaica is failing, Greg Lee have always been a consistent energy and composure player to keep it together. Obviously, sometimes pressure is going to continue, as what Francis said, because you don't have a midfield that's holding up anything. And after a period of time, they're going to break down the midfield. But Greg Lee, I think I have to go with Greg Lee up there with the 7.3, 7.5 as one of the better players. I think that Ethan Blake was the better players, and I think Reggae is up there. Maybe SofaScore never did him a right service, because I think that he should be up there close to Ethan them, or if not above, because Reggae was very good, in my opinion. Lembikisa, I can't say the same. I thought Lembikisa, obviously, Francis pointed out that as well. He's on the king side, and fullbacks get confidence from the centre backs. So if they don't believe that you are going to hold something, they are trying to overcompensate to make sure they don't lose the battle, Andre. And then once they lose the battle, they start to kill themselves and lose it. And I can see the frustration from him. He was arguing with King a few times. So clearly, he's trying to tell King that, brother, you need to be here. And, you know, so I saw the frustration, and he's not so outspoken. So I don't want to beat him so bad, but I think that I would give him like a 6, just like King them, a 6. But he was trying, but he just never, he wasn't comfortable, you know?
All right. You want me to go, Andre?
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right, listen up
now.
now.
Let's get the one that said he's not doing any stats today, he's just giving his eye test.
Let me let you know what.
Let me put his description up there. People, I never brought on Francis. Francis called me. So Francis is a man that says he wants to give football out east side. So he said he doesn't work with the stats. And I know he works with the stats, but he wants to put his flavor to it. So Francis, go ahead. And put that right here, no.
And just so you know, I'm a man. And I stand on my and I say it with my chest too.
Yes.
I'm ready. You already know that. So let's get to it. Greg Lee, oh my days. He's not the biggest. Ooh. He's not the quickest. He is rock steady. You know what you're going to get from Greg Lee every single day.
He agreed with Greg Lee.
He is rock steady. I call him Mr. Steady. I don't care what nobody say. There's no way that, respect to Amari, but there's no way nobody on that left side should be taking Greg Lee. I'm talking about in the air, monster in the air. He can throw in his position-wise defensively. He can pass the ball. More time than not, he's going to pass the ball on the grass than he is going to do it in the air. That's a fact. Go back and watch the games. Okay. He cleans up for Ethan Pinnock like nobody else. Boy, I tell you, he saves Ethan Pinnock biscuit. More Andre Blake, he saves Andre Blake's biscuit. Mr. Steady. He gets an 8 from me. He's been by far over these last 6 minutes.
So hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, Francis. Just for clarity. Could you separate it into defensively and attacking wise?
Yes.
Because if you give him an 8, is that for overall? Because remember, his pass completion is 66%, right?
Yeah. So for me, when I look at it, that's an overall. The 8's an overall. Okay. I think with it, the way he is positionally wise defensively, you guys think about it. I'm gonna say, let me get to Dexter, and I'm gonna tie it all in one. Okay. So Dexter, for me, I believe he's not a great tackler. He got a lot of speed. He knows himself. He knows what he can do well, and he knows what he cannot do well, and he stays within himself. The problem is, if you got a center back that is not helping you, that is not assisting you. If you look at the goal that Curacao scored, the second goal they scored, he needed help. He got cut in on the inside, and your center back is supposed to be there to step. There was nobody there. He was standing in no man's land watching. Okay? You look at it. Tyrese Campbell helped Dexter a lot because he came back and he provided that defensive structure. We already know Damari Gray, that's not his game. We already know that. That's not a secret. He don't track back. So if you got him not tracking back and your center back not helping you, Dexter out there on an island, boy. On an island by himself. But he can't go forward like he likes to. He just got to stand up and hope. Just hope that they don't come with 2 players at him. Now, if you look on the other side, we know Cephas don't run back. He did a little bit. He don't run back. So Greg Lay has to cover for Ethan Pinnock because he's wet. He's so leggy. He got cement boots on running. So Greg Lay is not the fastest, but he finds a way to run past Ethan Pinnock when the time comes. So that's why I gave him an 8. Dexter Lambikisa, I gotta give him. He's not fit. He's not fit. So what score they gave him here?
They gave him low 6.8. They gave him, but
I'm he close. Yeah, he around there because he's not fit, and you can tell that he did more running than he'd like to, because he's not as fit as he'd like to because he's not playing that much game.
Okay.
But for me, he was left on the island, so I'm gonna, that's how I tie it back on. And Andre, for me, offensively, I think Gregley is fantastic in the air. In terms of aerial duels, he's great. Passing the ball, it's kind of tough because of who he's passing the ball to.
Right.
Where he's moving the ball, as when he gets the ball, is where he's moving it to. And are they going to get onto the ball and what they're going to do with it? So that, for me, also comes with pass completion in my opinion.
So I want to ask.
All right, so Gregley is his player. I never knew, but I saw. I'm impressed with Gregley as well. I'm impressed.
Favorite player. I just like when footballers.
No. I never meant it that way. I'm just saying I'm impressed that you are impressed with the same player, because nobody expected me to. Yeah, I like him. I think you're being a little bit more harsh on Ethan, because you said that the running back was a problem. I thought that they were trying to keep lines. And because of others, but you know what you say,
how you gonna keep lines with somebody that's positionally poor?
Yeah, but that's the problem, because they're on the field. You think maybe he doesn't. A lot of people don't want to play, but because it's their country, and they have to go out and fight. They have to go out and fight, and you just end up out there. Francis, you don't know, look at a lot of man's facial looks. They know that they're in a warm night a lot of times in the blood. But Ethan doesn't have speed, because I don't think he relies on speed. And that's why every time when I'm picking a team, I always go for recover pace, which I would use Deshaun Bernard or Damian Lowe. I never thought that Damian Lowe was a better passer than anybody else, but I know that Damian Lowe is a better recover speed than anybody else. So, and he can tackle as well. I know that people would say that he will get red card, but every day with Ethan Pinnock, I would go with Damian Lowe every single day, twice on Sundays, Yeah, so that's what. But I understand. I thought that Gregley recovered well for Ethan as well. That is true. But I think he recovered for the entire team.
Facts.
And when he couldn't, Blake turned up and did the job. So yeah. But we're gonna move a little bit faster, people. We're gonna move a little bit faster. Frey was he was better than the other game, but I still believe that he has an anger management problem, because he had a problem with Bakuna from the last game, and he carried it over in this game. And we knew that he would have gotten a card or maybe got sent off, because the first challenge in like 20 seconds in the game, Bakuna spun him, got around him, and came back around him because he couldn't find an offensive option, and then he resets it back. And you know that Frey ran and just kick him down and push him down. Like nothing happened in the game, Andre. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Yeah. The game didn't start. Nothing at all. He just wants him to feel him. So he just wants him to feel him, because he turns back and going defensive, and just runs and kick down the man. So it's like he wants to give him back what he gave him. I thought that Bakuna kicked him down and stepped on his arm and something like that in the last game, but I don't think it was that intentional for you to be carrying it over into 2 games. Yeah, but aside from that, he was decent. I thought that he made some good challenges.
I'm surprised he walked into this team this easily.
So Andre, okay,
I said it, Andre. I love Andre. I like your style, man. I like your style, brother.
Yeah,
everybody here talk the truth, and I like it. Y'all talk the truth. I love it, man. This is awesome.
Because I watch this guy. I watch these guys every weekend, right? I watch these guys every weekend, and with what Jamaica have available to them, it puts. And again, we have to recognize that we make comments on football with only part of the information. We don't know what the roles and responsibilities are on game day, right? So we have to acknowledge that. But I'm really surprised he walked into this team that easily.
Juras said Frey was no. I don't think Frey was very good, Juras, because you can't look at a game
very good
that everybody's going from back to front. And that's why I said he was decent, because I don't think no. Oh my God, why we can't talk English? We're Jamaicans, but it's English is Jamaica's national language. I want it Beerback. A man named Beerback doesn't know that it's Jamaica's language is English. Because I said, Francis, this is what they do to me every day, you know. Because I said he wanted the man to feel him. You know what they're going on with. Beerback, can you just leave these things? You mash up every stream, every single. Oh my God, Andre, I know I never said anything bad, but I know I never said anything bad.
Yeah, but you know the reason for that as well, right?
So Francis and Andre, which other way I could have communicated that to the public? Which
other
way I could have communicated?
But you know the reason for that. That's about 65.
All right, JD, for you, bareback. Why for that? All right, let's move on.
Oh my God, man! Just come on, man. People, it's free. Talk to Free. It's not my problem. Free did what he did, and I was just explaining. All right.
I thought I was watching.
Anyway,
I thought I was watching.
Francis.
I thought I was watching wrestling. I thought it was American football. I don't know what Ian Frey was out there doing, boy. Oh my days! Does that dude know how to use his foot and tackle? What's he doing? Did he not get a hug before the game? He's just hugging up everybody. He running into everybody like a crash dummy. Like, what is going on? They say he played great. Great. What do you mean great?
Hold on. Let me give you his numbers. He had 3 recoveries, 1 clearance, and 2 tackles out of his 3. Yes, he did committed fouls, and he had 2 out of 3 aerial doors, 6 out of 10 ground doors. That is good, you know. That is good. But obviously, I know what you saw. You saw the whole heap of fouls, the whole heap of hugging up, which is true. Because he committed 4 fouls and around 3 of them never called as a foul. So he committed around 7 true fouls on the field, Andre. So, Juras, we know what you're saying about if an ex-man have a problem with them, because he did have good shift as a defensive coverage. But you can understand what he's saying with the fouls that is causing problems, because those fouls were all free kicks in dangerous areas. You understand me? So you giving up so much fouls, I think people can question that. And remember, they are not playing midfield game, so it look even worse. That means every time you get closer to the ball, it seems like it's a foul. So I can understand people looking at the game like that and say that they don't really like him because he's not on the ball so much. Look at the touches. If you look at the touches that he had in the game, in the midfield, it's very little, you know, very little for midfielders in a man. All right, I'm trying to get the touches that they had. Why they don't have the touches here? The touches that they had in the game is very little. Look at this. He had 24 of 29 passes, 83. Normally, your deeper line midfielder, Andre, that takes the ball off the midfielder, the center box, them, easy well should have 84, 85 touches. You understand me?
Right.
It's just too little, but obviously we knew that they weren't playing through them. So I can understand where Francis is coming from, Juras, but I do share sentiments, Juras, that he was decent, and that's what I said from day one. He tried to get involved.
But JD, think about it, JD. Honestly, you're giving a team like Curacao a dead ball.
No, I said he was decent.
No, he's decent.
I said he was decent. I never said he was great.
No, he's not great. Dead ball opportunities to a team like Curacao, when all they needed was a draw, is not good. On the ball, I think he did good moving the ball, knocking the ball around. I agree with y'all on that for sure. But dead ball opportunities, you can't give a team dead ball opportunities like that.
Yes, and I gave you credit there because that's what I looked at and said. You can't commit so much foul. But you understood. I think that's why I said that. That's why Francis, you never listened to what I said. When I started, I said, I think he has an emotional problem, emotional situation going on. Because if a man doesn't touch you, the ball kicked off from the other man, nothing did happen in the game. And the first thing you run to do, run down and kick down the man and push down the man. And looking at him, that is just telling me that something wasn't right. Like you're just saying that it doesn't matter what happened today. I am not going to repeat the word, but something will happen to you by me. That's the best word, because you know that if I say it, they're gonna say Y and Z. But that's what I thought from him. So maybe he needs to work out that because he's young. So, but maybe he needs to fix those problems. That's all I'm saying. Juras, you respect his performance, and I think the same with Aiden. Aiden was okay, but with the long balls, they never really did them a good service because these guys have to be fighting like they are extra center backs doing screening jobs. So I never really respect it, you know? They don't set the man up to be successful in front of the defenders them. So I agree with what Francis said on that. I can't really rate them highly because they never had so much things to do in the game because they never had that control, you know?
Facts. Drew Ross, I definitely you made a great point. You know what I mean? I like your opinion, and I like everybody to have their opinion. So big up yourself on that one for sure. And move like a madman for real.
Who moves like a madman? Drew Ross said he moves like a madman?
Yeah, move like a madman. Ian Frey.
Okay. But he rates him. All right. You can't say why Mr. Dre because I never even said a word. I said I'm not going to say the word. All right, so let me go through it, people. For me, I give the midfield a 6. I don't think they have done nothing terrible aside from Frey's fouls. I think both of them tried, but they just never had the opportunities to do better. You know, that's all. So I will give them a 6 both. If you want to give Frey a 5.5 because of his angriness, you know, yes, I'm okay with that. But 5.5, 6, that's what I'm going to give him. I'm not going to give him higher than that.
I believe that if Frey did not come out the game, he was on the verge of getting a red card like John Russell. What do you say?
Yes, but that's what I just said. That's what I literally said, but I never just used the red card, you know.
Oh, okay.
Andre, Francis is extreme, you know, man. Francis is, but he wants me to say the red card, you know. He wants me, but I agree with him, you know. But Francis, at the start, I said, the first word I said about the player, Francis, is emotionally challenged because he's doing things on the field that I'm not sure if he's going to stay on the field. But you need me to mention red card. You know what? I agree with you, Francis. Because that's what I said first.
I think he went to bed thinking about Bakuna the night before, like, I can't.
You know what? I wouldn't disappoint. I wouldn't disagree with you there as well. But yeah, I'm not going to get into those Bakuna and him conversation because they're going to curse me out in the chat. Yeah. So Andre, we're going to switch it because obviously when we go to certain players, it's going to cause drama. So I don't even want to go through that with players, to be honest, because this show is rolling too smooth, you know.
Look, I just
yeah, go ahead, Andre.
You go ahead, because unless you're ready to
no,
switch.
because what we wanted to do, we want to just look into the games to come from both the draw. We want to look into the draw so we can wrap up everything in this video. Maybe we never get a chance to do the extra, but it's okay. It's okay. We will get on that next time, you know.
But let me just say this. Somebody just made a comment in the chat that allowed me to go and look. Research it a little bit, and if you decide if you want to discuss it, I just screenshot piece of it and send to you. I send you the link as well. And this is the kind of thing that this is unfortunate that this is being written about in the New York Times. You know.
Okay. Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's the New York Times.
Oh wow, this
really
is bad for Jamaica. That is a bad look for Jamaica. If those are, you know what, I wouldn't disbelieve it because
put it in the private chat. Let me see it. Put it in the private chat.
Andre, you can put the link in the private chat so I can get it if I want to put it on the screen.
Or the link. All right, I'll find it on my computer.
Yeah, you can put it in the private chat here so I can. Yeah, that is. If that is true, that is bad.
Yeah. Yeah,
I know that the propagandas, they will come out and tell a bunch of lies, so you can't even know what is true anymore because they cover up for the JFX so much. It's almost sad, you know. I really wanted to look at these games, you know, man. God damn, you know, because people ask about the New Caledonia team, and I was watching some of their games.
Run through them quick now.
But
it's in there, Francis.
All right, thanks.
All right, so let me copy that and put here. Or we'll put it on the screen. Yeah, I'm gonna go through the games here, and then we'll finish on this article. We finish on the article, so you can read it if you want. But I'm gonna finish on that because I want to talk about this Caledonia team. All right, so Caledonia, I think they're a new and upcoming team. They're a new and upcoming team that is trying to make a name for themselves. They do try to play football the professional way. I don't think they have the quality as yet to really compete. On all levels in all of the regions, to be honest. Yes, so I do believe that it's possible if Jamaica starts similar team to what they started yesterday, similar to what they started against Curacao. Maybe they could win it and win it maybe comfortable. I think. But we don't know what Jamaica would do. But I think that Jamaica should go into that as the favorites. But now, and that would set Congo up against Jamaica, based on what I saw versus Congo versus Nigeria, and Congo versus every other team, Cameroon and all of those teams. I honestly don't believe, I can't see Jamaica beating Congo at all. I don't even think it's going to be a close game. I think whatever team Jamaica gets put together, I think they can put the best team together to try and get 2 love. I think if they pick a foolishness team, it could be 6. And very easily 6-2 as well. And the intensity that they play at, you have to call and scream for Obia. They don't see fast teams. The speed. People talk about fast teams and energy team. This team might do double the amount of running that Jamaica does in even their best game. You understand me? So Jamaica have to do something that they have never done in their entire life to have a chance against this team. I'm telling you, they don't stop run. I thought it was voodoo for real, like Nigeria's coach.
So I'm always trying to learn something. I'm always trying to learn something. Can you explain to me? It seems as though there's a love affair with some Jamaicans and the number 6. It's either they're going to give somebody 6 or get 6.
Or they're going to get 6. Yes.
What is it? Why is not 5 or 4?
It's an exaggerative term to say that you're going to be beaten so bad, Okay. Yes. Yes, and I think this, if JFF don't pull a card right, I think it might be some numbers that, believe me, I heard people crying. You will never cry in your life like what Jamaica will be getting from Congo if they do foolishness. So JFF, if you don't watch football, start watch football now. Because if you think you can pull the scam that you have always pulled on football, people brace yourself. I don't tell you foolishness. I think they might let it go because they want to keep players fit for World Cup. So maybe they will score 3 and 4 anyway. They will beat you very bad. Very, very bad. I actually don't think Jamaica have a chance beating Congo at all. At all. I don't even believe so because I know how corrupted they are. And that is the problem. So I know they're going to put in some foolishness. And by that time, they start telling that Richards is the best player on planet Earth. And then he has to play and Cephas has to play. And any team with Richards and Cephas get 20 from Congo. I'm not even asking you. I'm telling you, don't even watch the game, blood. If you're egotistic, don't watch a game. Leave it alone. Don't bet on it. That's what I have to say. And before I go to Suriname, I don't know if none of you guys disagree with me, But I just warn you guys, you don't like to cry. Don't watch that game. If you don't see the squad going in, you can brag all you want about Caledonia, win the game good and brag. But don't watch a game if the squad looks bad, because it's going to end very bad.
I want to. Max City says 6 is for disgrace, but I want to. Bareback is talking about the link up every OBA man from St. Thomas to St. Mary's to Canada. How do we go from being in a soup group
to OBA man?
Look at by
Well, Nigeria said it's OBA man, so why Jamaica can't say it's OBA man as well? Nigeria has a 500. Andre, Nigeria have a $500 million squad here. And they said it's Obia man. so Jamaica have a $50 million squad, and maybe it's gonna down to $20 million. So that is $480 million different here.
So Jamaica have a $50 million squad, was in a soup group. Now looking for Obia man to save.
Yes, but you will need the Obia man. For first, I agree with anybody. You need the Obia man because what I'm seeing. Believe me, remember I support Nigeria and Francis. And after 20 minutes in that game, I'm saying, people, I don't know. Oh, Nigeria score, Francis. Go back and watch my video. Nigeria score.
Yeah.
And I'm telling people, I don't know. Oh, Nigeria winning this game. This is not part. I don't know what they are doing. Professional players disrespect, and they don't have whistle on the field. They are just running, they are playing rings around Nigeria blood. So if they're going to do anything like that, boy, I would forfeit the match. I wouldn't even want to turn up.
I think Congo players are laughing on Twitter.
Yes, I think they're confident that they're going to beat everybody. And if Jamaica don't play their cards right, they have zero chance. I'm telling you, you have to get the best players to go there. Try and get even Macy Greenwood. Just try and get anybody you can get. And try. And contact the Obia man as well. Because he will be needed. So the Obia man plus everybody. Leon Bailey, everybody that's good, come on that field to try and give them a game. Because I'm telling you, blood, a whole heap of eyeballs will be crying. So, Francis. A whole heap of eyeballs. You see, because remember, we are a delusional culture, you know. We are delusional, you know. Because I heard man saying that, yo, Congo on a team. Easy soup this. The next group with Bolivia would be harder. That's what I heard, you know. Because all of a sudden, we're playing Congo, so it's easy. Believe me, people, you never hear me so confident.
Believe him.
It's only one way it's gonna go, blood. All right? The Wobia man.
Hold on, Kirsa still ask me how the soup tastes. How the soup tastes.
Yeah, man, just get the Wobia man, people. That's all I can tell you. All right? Yes.
You know how much control it took every time you hear somebody says a soup group not to want to respond to it. It takes a lot of control because you just know it's not logical, reasonable behavior, right? When it comes to football, right? You just know that.
Yeah, the bad man them on the Jamaica backline. Yeah, man, and they're bringing the badness to Congo.
So what you think? Because maybe people think that because they always say I'm not hating on Jamaica, but for some reason, everything that I say won't take place on the field. When Jamaica is going to win and I pick them to win, they win. When I say they're going to lose the damn game, they lose the game. So what are you guys' take on that game? You think that Congo is an easier team than Bolivia based on what you saw, Francis, and before the game?
No. No,
I'm just asking. No, I'm just asking.
I'm gonna go with logic. I watch you do these streams at Nigeria. I watch the stream, but I ain't no fool. Mama ain't raised no fool.
That's an easy answer, right?
We need to stack go to the store and buy a whole bag of tissue because not gonna need it.
If people, all I'm saying, just support your team, support Jamaica all in one, but just don't build up your belief so high that they're better than these teams, because that is the problem, you know, Francis and Andre. That's why they're crying and behaving like that, you know. Man calling me, my private number, and I said I'm not coming on the stream, you know, Francis. That's why I came on, you know, because I had to do this, because the man must stress me. Me have like 50 messages that I don't answer it in the phone. 50. Pure eye water. Big man. Pure eye water. Sorry to burst people's secret, but everybody's stressed out. Because when you just set yourself up for this failure, why don't you just work from education, man? Just look, put your eyeball. If you don't know nothing about football, Jamaica value 15 million or 50 million max. And the next team value 250 million, 300 million. They have to be doing something in life for these players to be rated so higher than Jamaican players. So if you don't know nothing about football, just look at the metrics and how fast they are rising in their numbers. So and give you some tops. Congo take all of Congo is Belgium's second team. Everybody that can't make Belgium team that is good enough that could potentially make it in the future in 2 years, they are playing for Congo. So they just took Belgium team and then patch some English players on it. So the next team that is full with overseas-based players, you are actually playing again. So they're going to beat Saints in Jamaica. That's what I see. Because every team that's beating them are teams that are full diaspora players. You know? Yeah, so all I'm saying, people, on a supporting the team, I'm going to be watching the game thinking that Jamaica, I'm not going to think that they can win. I'm going to watch the damn game. I'm not going to make them a drama, you know, on a delusional fantasy. I don't think they can win no game. They have to show me that they can win the game, period. That's not foolishness.
Prove it to me. They got to prove it to me, man. Yeah, they got to prove it to me. I'm happy to say Maxi, this is my open run bar. Andre, what's your thoughts?
No, I mean, it's simple. What everything that you all said it's just no other way to look at it other than if you want to look at it another way, something must go wrong, completely wrong.
Believe JD, Jesus Christ.
To whoever.
I'm tired of these people that believe them and believe in what? We just get beaten.
We believe all the soup tastes. Group, we believe all the soup tastes.
Andrew, at this point, and Francis, I think we're just a trolling society, you know. Because these people can't believe, they can't be in their house believing and saying, Francis and Andrew, you believe these things, they come back again. You know? So a team that is 60 times, not 60 times, but 3 or 4 times better than Curacao, and we should believe again. We don't just believe. I just never believed that we were beat Curacao and said that the best we're gonna get in the game is a draw. Just told you that, you know. So then why I can't come now with more sense and say, boy, this is the end of the road. And you you know, I never even I don't. This is amazing.
I think it's either people
Stop being negative. Stop being negative. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're gonna you're being too negative.
Wow. Well, click me from here. Click me from here.
JD, you have to be resilient.
Resilient and stupidity is close by, you know. It can seem the same thing, Andre. You understand? It can seem like you're doing the same thing. All right, and I'm not stupid. I've gone for advanced metric to come with it and give you a better analysis to it, and maybe educate the fans that we don't get more eye water.
No,
Gmails.
No, you didn't just watch Congo do that to Nigeria that you watch all year. No, you just didn't witness that. You didn't spend all your time doing those streams and witness that. Nope. Your eyes are lying to you. Your eyeballs are lying to you.
People are gonna beat Congo. You know what? A 6 way Congo people. People just erase a 6 way Congo. Take the light button, people. A 6 way Congo. Because a slave master's son will want hear by every stream. A 6 way Congo. Believe no man, I want to the people. 6 way Congo. I don't believe nothing. Beer back. As I said, the man said that, but we tell the people all right. So a 6 way Congo blood. All right, me I believe. All right, me not do no more stream. So you're not gonna hear from me. Can we move on? Laugh out loud, brother. The man. All right, you know what? They will continue. So, anyways. So
quite a few people is asking who you think the coach should be.
It should be and who will be.
Well, I see a couple of, what did they say? Who you think the coach will be?
Andre, look at his comment on the screen.
Which one is that?
7 like L.A. Lewis. That is the perfect example of what we're talking here. Oh my God. All right, yeah. So who the coach should be, who you would think could carry us to the next level. That is the comment of the day. It's not even moving from the screen. All right. Who you think will carry us over the line, Francis? Who you think can make Jamaica believe?
A different question to what is the comment section is asking.
Oh no, I'm asking 2 questions. Like you want me to ask who will be the manager? I know that already. I said that before the next man resigned. That's how confident I was. Because I go back on my screen before the man resigned or anything. I said he's going to resign today, and Mr. Speed is going to fight for the management. That's what I go back on my end of my stream, and then 15 minutes he comes out with the letter. People have resigned, so it's just Mr. Speed now to come and say I've signed, and you call me Nostradamus because I said everything before it happened. You know, yeah. So, but is Mr. Speed the right man for the job? Hell no. Cavaliers ain't good at football, blood. Are we not watching football? Cavaliers ain't good. You know, scamming people and just defending for 95 minutes in football, blood, and then talking about how rich and its man is. These people don't deal with hard work, Andre. These people deal with fantasy. So I think if Mr. Speed is a coach, I am moving it from 6 blood. At 12 Jamaica I get from Congo. All right, that's all I'm telling you from now. Mr. Stevie, the coach, I am not even sure if they can beat New Caledonia, but they might squeak a 1-0 win and then brag for 16 years they get 1 win. All right? Yes.
So in light of the information that the New York Times just put out, there's probably an argument for not being able to afford a coach.
Ooh.
Okay, so Andre, you're giving them leeway to come and scam the people again?
No, it's
because no, it's going to look like he's doing us a service, you know.
You gotta see it from both sides.
Okay, yeah, but he always comes with that he's doing us a service. No, we don't want your service. You understand me? You're not good enough. You understand, Andre? Because you're giving it, that is his main talk. He always comes in like he's the savior of something that he's not qualified for. I've never seen a human being can present himself as the savior when he's not even qualified for the position.
Okay, so let's do a hypothetical, right? Let's do a hypothetical.
Yeah.
If they're gonna choose someone from Jamaica, it's most likely it's gonna be him, right?
Should not.
But
I agree that maybe, because he's the one hiring himself, Andre.
What if he is supported by what chances do you give it if he's supported by Maron, who has always been in the system, Tapper Whitmore, who has been successful as a coach, and Andrew Pert, for example, who has had some success at the youth level? What if you put the 4 of them together?
Andre, the other team is good at football as well. And more likely they're sending their people into Europe to get education as well. So the other team is more educated. You understand me? So you put 4 people together that don't make one, it doesn't matter, Andre. You know how important education is. If you put 4 man that doesn't make it,
don't matter.
You're gonna be 4 man that doesn't make it. You understand? So Andre, 4, 5, 10 of the man that don't make it will still not make it, Andre. It no matter how much of them you jumble up, they're not. I would rather go for one of the ex-players them that has their license. Period.
One of the players, one of the Jamaican.
Because they are going to always want a Jamaican born.
Yeah.
I would go for one of the ex-players, them like a Tyrone Marshall or a Baby Gardner, but obviously some of those guys they're going to say they have different affiliation, not to sign them, but they are more qualified.
So one of the things that and on a serious note, Francis mentioned it just now. He mentioned that and I hate to put him in the spotlight, you guys beat him up so much that Cephas don't get run back and Gray don't run back, right? That's two out of 10 field players, right?
Yes.
That's 20%. It's that for me is a question of leadership, right? Because all around the world, the top coaches, you look at Manchester City, for example, if Doku is not willing to do that work, he's not going to play. If Martinelli at Arsenal is not willing to do that work, he's going to play. He's not going to play. And these are guys that have contracts, right? So they have to be there for whatever period of time they're there. In the national team, you don't have to call a player, right? And if you're calling a player, he has to come in wanting to do what it is the position requires, right? And so for me, the question that I'm asking is there a void of leadership with the ability to lead the team, lead the personalities in the large coach or in the federation on the whole, to create an environment where these guys understand that they have to do the work.
Of course, because Argamson said that before when he had a sit-down interview. He said that's one of the things that we struggle with was discipline.
Yeah,
and McLaren came around too, and you can still see the discipline because who's not fighting who in training camp and who's fighting who in the locker room and all those things that, yeah. You remember, they always say how a team, any team, whatever sport it is, however a team carries himself, on the field, on the court, on the ring, on the ice is a direct reflection of the coach.
Right.
Direct reflection of the coach and how he wants his orders to be carried out. So if you've seen a lot of bad attitudes and a lot of arguing and fighting, that's a direct reflection of what is going on in preparation. Gone back to that word again.
That's
okay, J Money, I can't do the calling system because I don't have any calling system and people answer on the live, so I don't know how I would have done that. But maybe next time. All right, J Money. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. All right. For me, Andre, Jamaican family vibes. Greenwood didn't want to play for McLaren. Family vibes. You never heard that from Greenwood. You never heard that Greenwood said he wanted to play for Jamaica. What you're doing now, you're running with the propaganda that the JFF planned to get rid of the coach. And because he left, because I know about that plan that they had planned. Stop believing these things, what people tells you, Jamaican family vibes. It's not true. They are making these stuffs up. That's why they hire a certain amount of people to sell propaganda to you guys, because you will believe those people. Always remember that. These things are not true. You never even knew if Greenwood ever gave a light that he wanted to play for Jamaica. Because I can promise you, none of them can come out and say that Greenwood told him that he's going to play for Jamaica at any point. And I know that's a fact. It doesn't matter who come on YouTube and say that. I can tell them that they're lying. So the fact that you guys are building something up on Greenwood, which I know is not true, you know. Yeah. And they are building a story around it. Brother, you guys need to stop, man.
Playing on the emotions of the fans, JD. Playing on the emotions of the fans.
I know. But come on, man. We are giving people bad name. So if the kids should come here at some point and play, you guys are going to hate him. Instead of we're trying to set up the camaraderie with the players. That the players get welcome. They are getting hatred before they even come here, Andre. So the fans have a lot to play with these hostile situation, you know, man. You know, because I don't like the fact that I saw everybody eating English players. Like it's a trend to eat English players. Come on, man. Let me leave it alone, man. You know?
Yeah, that's not a good environment to create, to be honest with you.
Yes. Greenwood never tell anybody that he's not going to play for Jamaica. All right? Greenwood never tell anybody that he's going to play or not.
And the sacrifice. As a footballer, to leave your football club and come represent the national team, it's a tremendous one. And also to play for a national team is also a privilege, right? So
it's in the news.
There's no need for all of this animosity that's created sometimes, and trying to say to players who are not quite at the same level that they're better or they're as good as, you know. So that's something we should go
Jamaican family vibes, stop listening to Jamaican news. 95% of Jamaican news is propaganda. And because I am telling you that the guy never made no commitment to Jamaica, period. None of them can say otherwise. They're going to talk about it, talk to father and all sorts of things. They'll never come and tell you that the player ever said anything publicly or nowhere. Stop making you guys emotion or hatred of something force you to do certain things, man. You can't come and tell me that it's in the news. I'm telling you something. You don't know if I spoke with the people directly or something. You don't know that. But I know that what's in the news is not true. All right? Okay. And I'm not here to fight for any overseas players.
We need to get the article. Back to, we got to get the article. I've been paying attention, and ever since I've been around this space, and I think nobody really listens, right? There's nothing that Mason Greenwood has said to suggest that he wants to play for Jamaica. But if you understand the football environment, and it's a big jump for a player like that to say he's going to come to play in Concacaf for Jamaica or for anybody else outside of maybe the United States or Mexico, to be honest with you.
A serious commitment. Serious
jump, right? There's a lot of potential revenue involved and everything else, right? That he's not going to earn in this space. And so that's not an easy decision to make. So when people were saying he's coming, he's coming, he's going to be here, some were even giving a time frame. It just didn't make any sense to me. And I'm not surprised that he's not here at this moment. It would be in Jamaica's best interest for him.
Family vibes not changing. Andre, family vibes, as you said, he doesn't listen. He doesn't really care. Because he's saying, then why he got his passport? Brother, because he can. What about he can? I never needed a Jamaica passport, but I tried to get one. They just robbed my money. And then I ended up getting one. And I just left them with my money. That's it. So
you have to understand, you have to remember pride, resilience. Resilience is he's resilient.
Yes,
I believe that he's coming. So you can't fault him for that, JD.
No, we got to get to this article. This is crazy. This article,
this is crazy.
This is not, if this is crazy to be out there in public. What?
All right. So guys, immediately after the coach left, maybe he left the island now. So he's going to be English, as though English is. We'll tell you what they're doing. I'm very sorry, English, but I'm just telling you how the English works. Yeah, they're not going to tell it, but they're going to write it. All right. So I guess the article stated here. The article stated here. Inside Steve's McLaren's Jamaica reign, World Cup failure, pain for staff's flight, and a hostile end. This is the second coach and the third player. Leon Bailey, Michael Antonio, and Reverend Morrison, with two coaches saying the same thing. At some point, it has to be true. But according to Jamaican family vibes, Jamaica first, so it can't be true. So let me continue. The excitement of Jamaica potentially qualifying for just their second World Cup was palpable on the gridlock streets of Kingston 3 hours before kickoff. Fans in a variety of yellow shirts with flicks of green, creating a joyous drama-filled, over-the-top expectation. Wafting through the year was the smell of jerk chicken, curry goat, and whole heap of beer at the National Stadium, blasting dancehall music, already celebrating the World Cup. All right, so let me see where the drama is.
Could somebody tell us if that is true?
That what?
Andre, I don't have to be there to know that it's true.
The smell of jerk chicken.
Jerk chicken, of course, that is true.
I watched a live stream that they were walking into the stadium. Yeah, there was drum pans everywhere. There was music blasting. They were doing games for sure, 100%.
Yeah, but the smell of the
I don't have to be there.
What do you mean it
yes,
smells?
Andre. Andre, if you have a whole line of jerk chicken, line of jerk chicken.
I didn't see that, so I'm asking, and I know writers.
I am telling you, that is believable. That is believable.
That's my point. It's believable.
Before you get into the stadium, you punch your ticket and then you walk through the food before you get
jerk chicken. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Jerk chicken. Because if I was there, it would be the same thing. It would be the same thing for me. Jerk chicken first, you know. Yeah, man. Yeah. I am not gonna say I wouldn't be a part of the jerk chicken clan. That I would have been a part of it. Victory over the tiny Caribbean island of Curacao would secure a place at the tournament in North America next summer. The hope was palpable, but it quickly turned to tension, and in the end, a mix of anger and disappointment. Ooh. While Curacao celebrated a 0-0 draw, which meant they became the smallest nation to reach the World Cup, a deflated Steve McLaren read out a unwritten statement announcing his resignation as Jamaica's head coach. All right, so let me see where the question of what the former England manager and Manchester United assistant will do next is likely answered on the operating table. The 64-year-old has been managing athletic ankle for 2 years, and doctors have recommended fitting and replacement through surgery. Okay, so he's injured, which which requires a 4 to 6 months of recovery. Okay, so why we never heard these things, man? So damn. He had a procedure last year, but has still required steroids and painkillers when leading sessions with Jamaica. Oh my God. A situation that became more pressing when he lost the service of his assistant this summer for the Unity Cup, the first phase of World Cup qualification and the Concacaf Gold Cup after Paul Simpson left to become head coach of the United States under 16. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, damn. All right, Juras. All right, big boss. McLaren enjoys the more active work with players, but it looked a physical tool. Okay. Damn. Okay.
This is the
This gets
this
worse.
is sad, though, Andre.
No, it gets
This
worse.
is sad.
Yeah, I know, but this is the human side of it, right?
Yeah, this is sad.
Yeah, this is the human side of it. And
This ain't sad. It gets way sadder than
No,
this.
I know, but this is about him. This is about him so far. This is about
the
him.
human side of it.
No?
And none of the reporters
Talked about it.
The reporters.
I never heard this ever.
Yeah, I don't know if this mattered to anyone.
Yeah.
Right. You have a guy that is actually suffering, it seems. Right. And I heard that. I don't even want to go into this because but some of the things that I've heard, I'm going to avoid being specific, but some of the things that I've heard that they've said about him since his departure, it's been just frankly disrespectful. This is interesting.
Okay. McLaren. Okay, we were at the part before. Damn. Has been on the training pitch assisting during the past 3 camps. That is partly behind his decision to quit rather than lead Jamaica into March Intercontinental Playoffs, where they have been drawn against New Caledonia in the playoffs semifinal. And they will face DR Congo, the Wobia team, in the final for a place for North America next year. So you guys agree with that? If he's not in that condition, it makes no sense to continue, right? Because he's saying based on the fact that the assistant that he wanted wasn't there because he took up a youth 16 job. Right. So this youth 16 American job was more appealing than the Reggae Boys job. Yeah. That is telling you. That is telling, right?
Keep reading. Just keep reading. There's more to it. Let's get through it as much as we can because I know you get short on time. It's interesting. This is very, very interesting, brother.
Of course, a major factor in the Englishman's swift resignation was the disconnect with fans that simmered as the match with Curacao went on and erupted into anger at the final whistle. Players got into verbal altercation with supporters, even police. It would have been difficult to continue after that, and so surprised bookended McLaren's Jamaican tenure. All right, so clearly they're saying that based on the way we hack, maybe that's not what people used to, and I totally agree with that. I don't think normal other human beings on earth are used to these type of behaviors, It was a shock when he left Manchester United to go to the Caribbean, even if the trade in weather was understandable, and there were stunned faces as the Jamaican Football Federation JFF President Michael Ricketts told reporter in the tunnel of the National Stadium that McLaren's offer of resignation had been accepted. Okay, let me continue here. This is good though. Moments later, McLaren came into a small press conference room, sat behind the table and looked up at the standing media and television cameras to read his statement. Having jotted some thoughts in anticipation, he had tears in his eyes as he spoke about taking deep reflection and deciding to allow for new energy and a different perspective for those matches in March. All right, so let me go because I want to see the parts that they're talking on. All right. McLaren did not take any questions, bringing to mind Roy Hodges' exit from England after Euros 2016. Hodges had lost to Iceland. The nation Curacao have just overtaken as the smallest to qualify for a World Cup. He keeps on breaking records. The former Middlesbrough manager knows about failure, good God, on the international stage. Yo, they are wicked, man. Stage already, of course, missing out on the European Championship. Yes, missing out on European Championship qualification with England in 2008. It is reasonable to think that was on his mind when he mentioned on the eve of this game, Andre, how he had suffered ridicule in his career and answered to a suggestion that his calmness on the touchline could be taken into complacency. You want to come into our hotel and our meeting rooms. There are no complacency, he said. All right, so pretty much they're saying that his demons were playing on him, you know, because he did fail before in a bigger situation, but similar opponent as to the bigger situation, because that was Iceland and England, and now this is Curacao and Jamaica. So that's why.
But to bring his
CV,
his behavior on the sideline into question like that, I don't know if it's fair. He's 64 years old and he would have evolved.
And
right?
now we know our body is.
Right. I don't know that Uruguayans complain about the Uruguay coach remain on the sideline, right? Or who did you all play at home before the Gold Cup? Who did you all play at home and lost to Guatemala?
Guatemala,
right.
Guatemala City.
That guy leans up on the post and doesn't really get involved. So
yes.
I think for a 64-year-old guy, there was a time in his career that I saw he was jumping up and down on the sideline.
Yeah.
But then you evolve. At that age, I think you behave different.
Yes. All right. So as they said, you have to write the article to drag people in, you know, because they have not reached even the part that Big Boss wants you to reach. As Bedlam exploded in the stands when VAR overruled the award of a Jamaican penalty in stoppage time, McLaren remained stoic on the sideline. So that tells you that the man literally can't move. You know, it's steadiness, a counter to the fans' emotional high and lows, because they are Jamaican and he's English and also he's sick.
Right, but he probably has emotional intelligence as well, right? Because
yes, that's what I'm saying.
When you read this, JD, the way he handled that interview, you just have to think about the emotional state he was in and what he was thinking at the time. For him to do that, right. Because I saw the interview, I questioned whether or not he planned the exit or not, but it was clear that he probably made up his mind right there and then, as he stated. He had to be in a state emotionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So during his time with Jamaica, McLaren took on much more than team selection, which I don't think he had. Maybe that's the only thing that he didn't do. You know, sources with knowledge of the situation who asked to speak anonymously to protect their positions explained how his role came to incorporate logistics. On several occasions, he intervened when players and staff needed flights and hotel to be booked and paid for. The room went silent. You're right.
Keep going, Jay. Don't stay. Keep rolling. Right. It gets worse.
In September, at the start of the second phase of the World Cup qualification, the JFF told the players they would no longer cover upgrades to business class on flights to and from Jamaica. It had been the case that players' match fees provided the funding for long-haul journeys, but this was removed. All right. So what I want them to present is, do they give the people their money, the players their money then, if they have to fill the additional upgrades to the flights? Do they give them their match fees? I know that's not the case, but yeah, let me continue. As a result, players have covered the extra cost themselves to ensure they can lie down during long-haul travels.
Take it
so
right
this
there.
is showing that yes.
Stop right there. If you know anything about players, if you've never traveled before, if you've traveled and you taking connecting flights, or if you're traveling a long flight, especially, these athletes are high performing machines with muscular bodies that need to be maintained. They cannot be sitting. Have you ever driven in a car for 4 hours or sitting on a plane for 6 hours straight? It's impossible. You're going to tear something when you think you're going to go out there and just start running right away. But go ahead. I just want to drop that point.
But we need to discuss on this point. Andre, yeah, but we're going to continue here. But this is tough, you know why? Because what we're seeing now, the coach is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But the players also uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So are we beating the people? Are we beating these people too much? That's representing Jamaica, because it looks like they're the ones fighting to represent Jamaica and not the other side.
There you go, Jay. Now you talk.
So it takes us back to the beginning of our conversation, right? If we are not making decisions that's in the best interest of the players, the young people, then we fail in whatever country we represent, whatever organization we represent. Because we're asking people to come and give 100% effort when some of us is given less.
Way less. On you, JD.
Ooh, wow. As a result, players we talked about that. On one occasion, the JFF initially pushed back on Dujan Richards being called up as a late replacement for Damara Gray, who left October's camp injured. Richard eventually flew to join Jamaica in Curacao a day before the game. Once his agent Craig Butler covered the cost of the flight, he eventually got the money back from the JFF. All right. So, yeah. So, Damara Gray came in, maybe already had money to his own flight to get himself here because of the condition. Then you don't have any money after to even buy a next player's, the Jamaican darling player. Because if it was an English player, I wouldn't have any problem with that. But even your local pride, you can't buy a ticket for. Wow. Right, so that is shocking. People close to the squad says JFF staff lack the expertise to arrange visas and plan routes. It's important to me. Sometimes picking multiple changes to reduce cost. Well, a lot of people in these areas to get fired. Simple.
See what I'm talking about? It gets worse, man. It's just getting started.
I thought these people were professionals because I saw people lauding them for the same thing, but I knew.
And this is my biggest disappointment in this space, is that we sometimes give people credit for being intelligent, for being good at what they do without really knowing what's taking place. You understand? And these are guys, these are athletes that come in from environment that they do every single thing for them. Everything. And I can tell you, back in June in Las Vegas, my son get injured, and the way his football club responded to that versus the federation was like night and day. It was like night and day.
So it's a Caribbean problem, pretty much.
Yeah, this is not just, Jamaica is not special in this regard.
That's a fact.
Caribbean needs to clean up their act because it looks like Suriname and Curacao gone left them, you know? Yes, they need to clear up their act. Obviously, Suriname had their problems, and you had riot outside because the people know what they want, and they fought for that. And people would have rolled inside that, and I think it's going to take something like that in Jamaica and Trinidad for things to change. The people have to make them know that, listen to me, if you don't do a job, it looks like you might not have a job to possibly do, you know, even if you're in charge.
You see, here was the problem, JD. One time I made an argument in a space in Trinidad about needing to change the educational system. And I specifically said that we need to create a system based on a philosophy of somebody like Marcus Garvey, and they were all bent out of shape, right? And started to make all sorts of excuses why that shouldn't be the case. But at the end of the day, Marcus Garvey is someone that talked about self-reliance and pride, and it seemed as though we only picked up the pride part of it and not the self-reliance bit, and that's why this article could be written today.
Let me add a point to it before you start reading. Point is, for anybody in the comment section or listening, yeah, just tell the JFF to sue the newspaper. I bet you they won't. I bet you they won't.
Yeah, but you know that you're gonna always get one of those individuals that are so prideful.
I bet you they won't.
I am doing a trick. I actually think Jamaica has the most prideful people on earth. I know I'm not wrong, you know. People will push back, but I know I'm not wrong. It doesn't matter what happened, Francis. Even when they saw the man shoot the man down the road, once it gives Jamaica a bad name, they're going to make up a story why he needed to shoot the man down the road. When even the man that killed the man will be telling her, yes, he needs the dead, because that's exactly what he's going to say. They're going to come out and make a story up. Brother, sometimes we be having much more emotional intelligence and act the right way solves the problem overall. Yes, people, I'm on live, so if you're, maybe someone never knew that I was on live. Big up myself, one, thanks for being here. So just stop, man. I heard in the chat, brother, you're saying it's not that bad. Well, other people have different lives. Francis, you're overseas, right?
Yes, I'm in Canada.
All right, and Andre's overseas, and I am overseas. What we expect is similar to what the ballers them expect. So don't come and tell them on them that they need to live like what you expect beer back.
But hold on. JD, you're talking about multi-millionaire ballers that can buy their own business. You think they're going to go sit in the economy and take a stop over 2-3 times?
That's why he's cursing out and saying, oh, it's not as bad. Brother, at some point you need to call out things, man. At what point you're going to give credit to what these guys are doing? Come on, man. JD and Nigeria as well. Yes, I think JA. But I have done enough Nigerian video to know that Nigeria has way more emotional intelligence than Jamaica. Because even with Obia, you still had some people came up and said Congo was just better than Nigeria. We have people here, more people saying that Jamaica will beat Congo. We just should believe. There is no evidence provided. So I think that Jamaica takes the lead on Jamaica takes the lead on Nigeria. I'm telling you, blood. And per capita. Let me use per capita because it's too small. Per capita. Let me continue. All right? Because Beerback looked like he finally got to his soul. All right? I know you have to run, Andre, so let me try to run through it.
No, I'm good.
All right, so people. Okay, finance was also at the art of Simpson. Okay, finance was also at the art of Simpson. That is the assistant coach.
I took the job as U16 coach for USA.
Okay.
So remember they said
he never said that. They said he left
because he took the job, but now
because of money. Yes.
But now they're letting you know that that was
the reason he left.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so finance was at the art of Simpson leaving. They are on the radio telling us a bunch of lies then, if this should be true, because that's the next thing that put the JFF in bad light. McLaren's former assistant leaving in August. He was initially owed a salary by the JFF, which was only reimbursed once he had taken the call to join US. All right, you see beer back? That's why you need to stop, my brother. All right? You need to stop.
So you see, JD.
If these are true things,
and
these are true things, this is bad, man.
This is the disappointment. There was a few months ago, there was a horse and pony show that the finances was all taken care of and what a great condition it was in and all that stuff. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? And now,
Andre, this is throwing everything into the dumps.
Yes, it's throwing everything into disrepute.
All right, so what you're hearing, so people, what this article is pretty much saying a simple, they couldn't match his salary for what the guy wants, and USA found it fitting to give him more money for youth 16. According to what the situation is. And so obviously the coach will be unsettled, because if you can't pay the man what he wants and he needs his assistance.
Yeah, man.
Richard Green, listening is important. Listening is important, Richard Green. Yeah. So please don't come here with that foolishness.
Yeah.
Because Andre have not said one thing bad about Jamaica.
Left Richard
Green, believe me, Richard Green.
Trinidad into the question, into the conversation.
Yes, Richard Green, Andre, don't pay Richard Green any mind. Because Richard Green is the leader of the emotional intelligence part. He's the leader. The man will come and just beat me for no reason, even when I'm 100% right. Andre is the one that's trying to tell us that it's not only Jamaica bad, it's literally the Caribbean. And you come here and try to disrespect the man. Brother, sometimes just listen. Clear, man. Jesus God, man. What are you talking about? Okay, then why are you saying that he's not talking bad about Trinidad? Anyways, we're not going to pay Richard Green much mind, because Richard Green did not know what we were talking about, and he came out here fighting. Youth setup, when McLaren requested that Richard Artis, who McLaren had worked with at Manchester United for 2 years between 2022 and 2024, join him for the World Cup qualifying camps as Simpson's replacement in a dual role as number 2 and goalkeeping coach. He was turned down by the governing body. So McLaren picked up the tab himself for Aris flights and hotel. Artist has yet to receive a wage.
Say that. Read that last part again. So
when McLaren requested that Richard Artis, who McLaren had worked with Manchester United for 2 years, right, between 2022 and 2024, join him at the World Cup qualifying camps as Simpson's replacement. All right, so he's still working with Jamaica because maybe they convinced him that they can't afford that. So we go somewhere else now. He pointed out someone else now, which is Richard Artis, to come here. All right, and they said he was turned down by the governing body, which should be the JFF, right? If I'm reading well.
Exactly.
So McLaren picked up the tab himself for Artist's flight and hotel, and has yet to receive a wage. So that pretty much means McLaren hired his own assistants.
Yeah.
And Jamaica never had none. That's what it's telling me here. Because that means he paid for his stuff and hired an assistant.
Didn't this happen before, JD? Some years ago with somebody else?
Of course it happened before. Yes, it happened multiple times.
Yeah.
Let's not also forget, Andre, I don't know if you've heard this, but let me tell you, it's on record and on tape that Rava Morrison and Mikel Antonio have said that they've had to pay their way to Jamaica multiple times.
Yes.
That's on record.
Credit to one of the guys that work in the JFF, the only one. Mr. Speed came on my program and said why he loved Mikel Antonio, because Mikel Antonio played for his flight and other people's flight and don't even complain. That's what he said. But I heard Mr. The next guy that just resigned, Dennis Strong, said that what he loves about English players, then they just pay their things and come here and nobody pressures and they don't ask for anything.
But let me make this point, and this is symptomatic of our problem, right? You are reading an article that was written by a Manchester United correspondent, Laurie Whitwell, and Richard Green has not questioned that guy motive. You understand what I'm saying? But he's here questioning mine or my contribution to the conversation. And that in that lies the problem that we are having in the region.
But that's what we had said. What was the problem we're having in the region? And that's why Richard Green just came to the conversation in last and whatever he thinks to say, he just said something because he wants to know that, make us know that he's here. People, remember we're here for 2 hours and odd and we don't see the likes on the video. It's a very much informative video. You understand me? Maybe they don't like those type of videos, but I would like to see the like button goes up before we finish. So get this to at least 150. If I see anything less than 150, you know that I'm not coming back. Say better, you better. I know it's gonna go up after I'm finished, but I need to see it before, and I have only like 30 more minutes. I'm not passing 3 hours. All right. The JFF has occurred a depth over the course of the past few years, which influences its decision. World Cup qualification would wipe this out. FIFA has not yet confirmed prize money levels for the World Cup, the 2026 World Cup, but in 2022, a total of 440 million, which is 336 million pounds, as of today's exchange rate, was split between 32 teams. All right, which we know, we kind of know the money, but maybe they are just making sure that they don't make any mistakes in the article. Yes, the JFF has improved standards since McLaren has been in charge, upgrading training equipment and no longer conducting sessions on cricket pitches. But the use of widespread football technology such as GPS tracking is still absent. Yo, the things that these players have to go and do in the country, you guys should be cherishing them. You understand me? There is internal politics too, over which players should be selected and included.
Come on now.
I love this. I love this.
I told you
that it reaches England. Please sign me. Let me write on this article as well. I will inform. I'm the biggest informer. Give you all facts. All right. Those in the hierarchy have their preference and communicate them. While stories of some players breaking curfew remains, Ricardo Atkins, a personal chef, took to Instagram after Tuesday's game to say he saw 3 players in Kingston's Raw Bar until 2 a.m. on Saturday night, hours before the 10 a.m. training session on Monday morning. Huh?
Sunday night.
On Sunday as well, because they said
that's a disrespect to the coach.
Sunday. Yes, Sunday night before 10 a.m. training session on Monday morning. The JFF did not dispute this when asked about it by the Athletic. So they are getting the information and making sure they relay it back to them, and they don't answer. So you're right, Francis. They won't answer because they already answered to them.
But that's the responsibility of a journalist, right? You let them know that you're working on this story and this is the information we have. Would you like to comment? So,
and they say what?
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Emmett said yes, they need to contact me because I'm the biggest informer. I have all information. Whatever Athletic, I'm ready to inform because I need to get them banned. All right, they're frauds. Bringing together players born and raised in Jamaica with those who have been recruited after living all their lives abroad has been another challenge. McLaren was skeptical that the talent in the country was better than in Europe. But others close to the squad felt he could have found untapped quality had he spent longer in Jamaica.
Here it goes again.
Oh God!
Hold on. How long did Haiti? Hold on, JD. How long did Haiti's coach spend in Haiti?
0 days.
0 days, 0 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, and I need you to go back to 1985. Lindy De La Pena said the same thing about these frauds in Jamaica that keep on telling people that they need to bring everything to their doorstep. And he literally said in 1985. Jamaican players cannot be better than European players and never will be because they don't work hard. We're saying the same thing in 2022, 2026. Lindy Delapena, I played the clip in 1985 when you had Jamaica and versus England. Did play a game, you know. I don't know if you're on Francis at that time. They did play a game. English versus Jamaican. Francis said, no, sir, I wasn't around. Yes, and Lindy Delapena, one of Jamaica's best ballers ever. He literally said the same thing. So it tells you they are batting for people that have never changed. And that is years ago in Andre. I'm going to try and send you the clip for Lindy Delapena. When he was speaking, I'm sending that. You're going to love that.
He sent it to me.
Yeah, man, I would try to send it to you as well. He did beat them. He gave them a beating, a very bad beating. Oh my God!
You're going to try, or you're going to send it?
No, I'm going to send it because I'm gonna ask my virgin to send it back to me because I have my virgin and that give me all articles, you know, man. But sometimes my phone is full and I have to delete my things. Then
you know what I love? I love the fact that you keep each other accountable. Andre keep it JD. Which one are you doing?
Yeah. As I'm off the internet, Andre know that I'm going to get the information from whoever I'm going to get the information from. All right, JD, post the clip so everyone can see it. Oh yeah, but I did play it on this channel as well, you know. So I just need to find the video that I played on the channel. I just need to remember the name. And you guys are here, but you heard it already. So just help me out, man, that I don't have to bother anybody else and I can just play it back and send it to the two guys in here. Yeah. All right. So clearly the xenophobia and the desperation to sign a coach and then trying to force him to do other things. Everything that we are saying is actually right, you know? And that's what they're throwing on the guy.
Before this article came up, I made mention of not having money to hire a coach as a potential conversation and what would happen. So this is looking like there's no money to hire a coach. Right?
Yes. And Superhero will turn in that have 7,000 jobs. That adds another job to the 7,000. So make it 7,001.
Don't forget Hargrimson did this before. He upgraded the system too, and he did a lot of these things as well too that Steve McLaren is apparently doing as well. He has set up a system. He had changed the training. He upgraded people to teach them this and teach them that and do this. That what was said. So what happened to all that structure?
Wow, it's just shocking. You know, I'm just glad that we're much more privy to the other nations, and that's why I'm not giving Jamaica any slide here, because we know about Curacao, I know about Suriname, and we saw our AD doing. So they can't get away with this foolishness, you know?
The good thing about this is that this newspaper is credible. They have a reputation, and they would not write this if they couldn't back it up. I don't think they would. So...
yeah.
All right, let's roll.
All right, where we were, okay, untapped talent. Okay, McLaren intended to fly from his home in Yorkshire a few days before camp started, which he had a problem with that as well. These various spinning plates are why former head coach I'm here Hallgrimson warned McLaren that he would not last 2 months in charge when when the pair shared a phone call.
Yeah.
Keep laughing.
He told her brother, run. No matter.
I am Nostradamus. What I did say when he said on the first interview, he spoke to McLaren and said, McLaren, tell this man everything that will reach him in the country. That's what I said. Go back to my damn video and hear it in front of you. People laugh with you and you don't know that they're laughing after you. That means I told her that I just need some bleaching cream and all of you guys respect me. All right? Because I'm telling you, the things that I tell you here, everything that I've said is accurate. Everything. People don't like them, man. Like what, Andre? They don't like them. They don't pretend well because you're in a run and say you can't do better. But they don't give you something to like. So I know that this man wouldn't have tell him anything good about Jamaica. Good what? You see? So I'm glad that you guys are seeing this. So that means you thought that I hated Jamaica, hated what? I am just a principled person. And every principled person would have said the same thing. You know why? Because he has respect for our next coach. You understand me? Francis, before the game?
He's
going to tell him the truth.
It's called a
He's
coaching.
telling the truth.
From the time he said they talk, it was clear that he would have he would have said to him, he'd have told him what happened.
Yeah, because they're coaching fraternity. You look out for another coach. Coach, look out for coach.
Yeah, he's not going to set him up. He's not going to set him up like that.
And what this means now, much coaches don't want this job. So they better go give a local coach him, because much other coaches don't want this job. So Jamaica might get the next coach, Andre and Francis. They have to be connected to Jamaica via one of the ex-players them, or and they come in for free. That's how I'm looking at it. Yeah. They're coming for free to bolster their CV.
As an opportunity, it have some people take chances, right? You take it for free, you get it on your resume, and you know, lightning strike, and you're in the World Cup, right?
JD, let me answer something. Jay, you said, what did Steve do with that information? It's the same thing like if you were to leave a girl and a man say, yo, she's crazy. You're like, I'm not that. I'm not you. I'm me. I could change that. Steve probably thought he could do something different. He realized that he can't.
And Francis, he figured that out before the 2 months. You know why? I have to credit my virgin pastor. A lot of people said pastor is the harshest human being on planet Earth. But believe me, he was so right. When the guy came out, his first statement is, I have so much players in England. We can put together a team and challenge the best. And that is my interest here. I contacted them and everything. And then the president said, Coach, calm down, stop talk. Come around, let me go and pick the team. Come around, let me go. We go around and pick the team. And people bashed Pastor the day. And he said the next game, the next press conference, Francis, the man started to say, people, you have a lot of local talents. I was here a million years ago and saw them, and we have to start believing the local talents. The man tell him what he meant from the first minute he came on the pitch. He came in the room.
First minute.
And after, he's telling you what they meant. They want him here for. You understand me? So I think he figured that out the first match. The first press conference, after he left that room, that's when he figured it out that Algrimson was right and he doesn't have any time here anymore. I honestly believe that he gave up from the first day he was here. I think so.
Crazy.
Yeah. But we have run to the
so JD, also, if this is happening, McLaren, this is the experience he's having, this information is getting around. Remember the statement I made the other day about Adidas, who sponsors FIFA, signing
thank you
to an Adidas contract. Right? I think they went in the other direction.
You did say that, and we might have to look at it like, maybe they figured out something. And let's jump ship from Jamaica, man.
This would not have reached it. Okay, so it get to the ordinary man now, today, whatever the case may be. But the people involved in football, because when you go to play a game, people are talking, people are having conversations, right? And they're not going to just run out and say things on social media because they have responsibility. Because if you notice, the person in this article, for some of it, is anonymous. They probably work for the JFF, or they probably work in football, but they have enough experience to see things through McLaren's lens, and what he wants. So
Beerback is still here, just being Beerback. Yes. Beerback, I'm not going to get into any conversation with me and you because it's not going to work out good. Because the name alone, change your name and we can have a different discussion. All right, your name is too much in the dialect, bad in the dialect of your country, and you won't change it, boss.
No, but this is something that I hear in the Caribbean a lot, in Trinidad in particular. You could have done this with the little you have, and the fact of the matter is, we don't have a little. We can do better than we're doing, and this standard that this kind of thinking is providing, the standard is the reason why we are not qualifying for anything.
Yes, because the slave master's sons love people like Beerback. They say, "Oh my God, the pride that you have. Let me just rub your shine head."
That's
the pride that you have.
Thinking.
Come Beerback. Hey, Beerback, you're the perfect person I need, beer back. So beer back. Don't serve the slave master's sons anymore, my brother. Let me go through the rest of the article. Many in Jamaica feels they should have qualified above Curacao, who, led by former Netherlands head coach, Coach Dick Advocaat, tap extensively into the Dutch football system. They are a nation of 185,000. Andre, 185,000. Yeah. That is important to put the extension behind the little small digits, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Andre. Jamaica's population is around 15 times bigger. That's what they've stated right there. Okay. But McLaren side toiled during Tuesday's game. The pitch cut up restricted passing football. But that's not for Jamaica. And some of Jamaica's players looked nervous. Early in the first half, a chant went up for Whisper, the 20-year-old Chelsea youth winger, not the winger. Winger who was born in Port Royal, Jamaica, and has provided excitement when previously featured. It was also born from a general desire for more homegrown talents to be given a chance. I think, yeah. So it was Richards who burst into the box to win the penalty in stoppage time, only for VAR to overrule it. All right. I saw people trying to make up stories. It was rightfully overruled. Stop in and lying.
Absolutely.
Right? Stop fooling more people. It's 100%. Andre, I took 2 seconds to say it when I'm going to be overturned. No, because I was jumping. It's a penalty. And once I showed the first clip.
Yeah, the first clip is
these are delusional. I saw programs.
Yeah, you saw the ball change direction.
People. Oh my God. Stop lying to people. And you people that's eating up these things, bro.
There's a version of that action when the player, after the player hit the ball and Whisper was going down, it looked like the player was now behind Whisper's back when he was going down. And I saw somebody did a stream and used that version of it.
Yeah.
To
oh my God.
to keep it up on the screen, which was misrepresenting the situation.
And it took me 2 seconds. Remember, Francis, I was celebrating the video is there now. So we get the penalty. I was celebrating. And then once I saw a replay, I sit back down and said, boy, Andre, they're gonna overturn it. So I said, Andre said, yes, because maybe Andre never saw that he touched it at first, but he saw the direction changed.
Yeah.
People, nobody robbed Jamaica blood. The man touched the ball very clear as day.
But if you know how VAR works, once a decision is called on the field and VAR say, go look at the screen, just know it's getting overturned. Just know it's getting overturned.
The more likely it's going to be overturned because it's clearly showing you that the referee made the wrong call.
Yeah, go look at the screen. They're telling him, go look at the screen, bro.
And you interpret how far you got it wrong. And if you want it, stay. You understand me? So you have a trained eye, JD. Regular people will have other opinions. But I understand, Alj, but the fact that remember, sometimes, all right, look, when you're getting a throw, Andre, how they can figure out how the throw never took a deflection so fast. It's took a deflection. It's because of the direction of the ball, the movements of the ball. Alj, that's what they use. A lot of times, because the game would have started. The game would have lasted 350 minutes if that's the case. You understand me?
But yes. You know, to the point. Some people, it's how you watch. There's a way to watch football, right? And if you watching football just casually and you're having conversations and you drinking a beer or you're doing this, you miss a lot of things. If you watch football,
drinking a beer is essential. You know, towards a lot of missing stuff.
You got booze.
You can't see what you're drinking, you know. So don't drink. If you said you're an analyst, don't drink. And if you love the sport, don't try to con the people into selling a narrative because that's going to give back a bad representation of what the sport is in Concacaf as well. You understand? You have a responsibility to do the right thing in the first place.
Yes,
and that's why I always try to learn.
If you're going to talk to people, you have a responsibility to share information that could improve people's understanding of what's taking place.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, because that's why I had to stand up and say, people, it's going to be overturned. Because I was celebrating with everyone because I wanted Jamaica to win, even though I don't think they deserved it. But it's not about what they deserve. You still want your country to win, regardless of what you know about the football. You understand me, Andre? So
Yeah,
I just wanted that to happen. And I was celebrating. And then once I saw the replay, I knew that it would have been overturned. You know, so they would have stopped lying. They would have stopped fooling people that are barely rational. You know, let us stop exploiting our people, man. Come on, man. We make money just the same without exploiting our people. And that is a sad thing. You know, I can't stand it. Yeah, let me continue right there. I had to put that in because I thought that it was important for me to tackle that conversation. Jamaica had struck the woodwork 3 times by that stage, all from eyeballs into the box. First, Lay's header from Ethan Pinnock's long throw. Then Shamar Nicholson hitting the bar with his header from Dexter Lembetis across. And finally, Bailey Kadamachi headed against the post. Some close to the squad feel Jamaica should play fast and dynamic football to suit the players and the fans. Dozens of whom climbed from their seats to sit on the eye wall behind the bleachers. So what are you guys? We had talked about that, about the play football to suit. That is just Craig Butler and his Duns revolution. That can't pass the eye test. You know? Yeah. Let him use his little team, Mona, to continue dancing up the place. Pure foolishness and emotions. Craig Butler just lacked every emotion on planet Earth. You know, so he's just screaming and the fan telling people that this is what Jamaica need to play. I don't think Craig Butler have the answer. Not because he has 2 players that went places. I strongly don't believe it's because of Craig Butler. None of those players will reach anywhere. I think it's based off the players that people scouted. The other people, maybe Craig Butler involved because he had to sell them, he had to make links. That is true. But it's based off their talents why they reach places instead of, you know, nah. So stop it, Craig Butler. You don't have no system to save Jamaica, brother. Just stop putting Jamaica in more of a hole. None of you guys can't save it. It needs a cleansing by just honesty. Know who you are, what you're capable of. I have not seen one person said, Francis, and before the game, I have not seen one person said Curacao was better than Jamaica.
You'll have to be delusional.
Still waiting on that.
Huh? They would consider themselves delusional to say that. That saying that Jamaica was better is right in line with
the narrative.
Yeah, with the narrative.
And the only way you can improve, I understand about the narrative, but I'm saying I'm showing you why they are not going to be the answer, Andre.
Right.
Because that's what I have to follow. Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you. Maybe yes. I said that wrong, but I'm agreeing with you.
So people, I am telling you, the first thing you might have to say is Curacao is better than Jamaica. What we have to do, what is our problems, our challenges? And that's where Jamaica problems starts, like solutions start. You understand me? Don't just run and get someone else to cause more problems because you're going to go just deeper and deeper. And remember, at this point, Jamaica might soon rank 10th in Concacaf. 10th. You understand me? So if you go and make an next failure, I just believe that Jamaica is going to go down to 15th. So when are we going to stop this failure? You understand me? We have to figure out who we are and then start from there. You know, I think it can't be helped if you don't fix that problem, like finding out who you are. And to be honest, Curacao is better than Jamaica. They're further in their development in what the style of football they want to play. And Jamaica still, they're telling you that they don't know what style they're playing, but yet still not applying it to how good they are, Andre. And that is where I can say delusional. Because if you're telling me in your argument, 1 second, Andre, you're telling me in your argument that you're not doing this right. So how can you be further than the next team that is completing what they're doing in their development? Oh, that makes sense.
And Curacao told you that this is the the product of a 12-year project.
12-year project, yeah.
12 years ago to try to qualify for
12 years.
Yeah, 12 years.
You guys hear how long? Long time.
Yeah.
12 years. 12 years. Are you guys going to sit down for 12 years? Jamaica might drop down to 15 or 16 in the region, but you're going to get a pattern of play. You're going to hire coaches in that same vein and get players in that same vein. Are you guys okay to work 12 years? It might go to 20 years, you know. Are you guys okay with that? But the other guys, and that's getting so the success, you know. That's what they're doing. You're just seeing their success at the end. You understand me? So are you guys willing to wait 12 to 20 years?
It may have taken them 12 years because the population is so small. But with Jamaica's population, I think this is about, for me, making the right decisions, having the right intention, okay? Making the right decisions and putting people first. It is unbelievable that McLaren was suffering as though it seems the article make it look. And none of that nobody was aware of that.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, but I think that makes sense. The 12 to 15 years, because I remember one time I went on a show, and because I was saying that we need a structure and a plan to go forward, and I told him that it took 15 years for a cycle to come through, Francis, and he said they can't wait on 15 years.
Wow.
When we go with them foolishness there. That's what they told me in a show in the Jamaica space as well. I don't want to recommend the show at all, because I don't want people to say that I'm fighting against them. But that's what they said, because they couldn't understand, because I was applying coaching to it, Andre. You understand me? So you could see the fruits of what you're doing. The 12 years is not just because you're going to get one group of players ready. You're going to get a balanced train. You understand me? So you're going to have the ready ones, and you're going to have one that just tip the scale to come into the system. So if you have one or two injuries, Francis, those can fit in. So Curacao, you realize, Tahiti Chung have not played him. You realize that?
Say that again.
Chung have not played.
Okay.
Chung have not played. So the one Curacao-born player that spent most of his life outside have not played. But you saw Camencia coming from PSV and the Juventus. And he comes in, and nobody talks about Tahiti Chung anymore. So because they had a train of what they wanted to do and who they're trying to get, they brought them from youth 17s, make them know. No, Tahiti Chung never played in the Jamaica games, MJ. You know, follow my line of reasoning, man. I know which game he plays. I watch all the games, blood.
Come on.
I'm just saying that he didn't play against Jamaica. All right. Marcus, we might have cut it off here because we had 2 hours and we went to 3 hours. We will save the article and go through it, you know?
Yeah,
yes,
we'll
at the next one.
I gotta go pick up just now. Yeah,
man. So we're gonna cut it off here. We're just gonna give our final thoughts. Because we're just trying to give a solution to the problem. I'm just saying, people, stop the overhyping, be more rational, give somebody time that has education. You understand me? And let that person comes in with a structure. The structure will last anywhere to bear fruit from 10 years to 20 years. All right? I think that's where Jamaica, if you want to rely on what you want to rely on, and that's where Jamaica truly is, 10 to 20 years from anything, you know? Yes, so you have to reach no quota at the youth level. Do like what Curacao did. Bring in all the young players, try to show them what you're dealing with, let them get familiar with the system, and then you try to bring them through. That's it. So they don't have the actual boots on ground. So they bring in the kids from young, show them what they're doing, and work them along nitro. That's how it works. That's what Suriname doing. For 6 years now, Suriname bringing in youth 17s. They don't care who born on the island. And then you saw them trying to go up to another level. You understand me? So that's how it is, man. All right. So yeah, let me bring you back all of the men on the platform. So you said you have to run. Francis, thanks for passing through. Give your final thoughts. We're gonna try and put your link down in the description so people can find you. And Andre, I would put Andre Instagram, which some people can really go. And I would ask all Jamaicans to go there and learn about systems. You know. I know that Andre doesn't control the page, but at least you're seeing what he's doing. And then maybe a man like Richard Green, you will come back and realize that maybe if Andre have Jamaican national team, you never see so much beautiful football in your life. Your mind start curse and said, too much passing, 1,000 passing. But believe me, you're going to see what you need to see. You need, maybe Andre can turn it into Barcelona. You never may know.
Never know, never know.
Yeah, but
yeah, so go ahead, Francis.
Definitely,
so we can finish up.
Yeah, definitely. I want to say, it's important that we have structure and the system set up. But I'm hearing it time and time again that maybe we are allergic to structure and system. Chaos is something that we like, and we got to figure it out because we can't keep making excuses. We got to look ourselves in the mirror. We can't keep looking at everybody else and pointing finger at everybody else and blaming we got to look ourselves in. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. We're causing ourselves harm by not putting it in the right structure and the right system that's going to benefit the youth then. Okay, these guys are at the level they're at now, but we got youths coming behind that should already know what the system is like, how to integrate themselves, what they're looking forward to. And with all this coming out with this information about money here and not taking care of players and not doing this and all this, is not a good look. It's quite embarrassing. We're on the cusp of trying to get to a World Cup, and it seems like the only thing that is important about getting there is the proceeds that you'll get from being a part of the World Cup rather than actually participating in the actual World Cup and putting the football on display from the island. And that to me is the biggest picture that we need to focus on. On top of that, I want to big up to Andre. Thank you very much. First time meeting you. Great football mind. I love talking to fantastic football minds. JD, thank you very much for having me on your platform. Been a long time coming. You know what I mean? Hopefully it's not my last time. And everybody in the chat, big up in itself. Whether we agree or disagree, we still have things to do. And the things we got to do is we got to clean up the football on the island, off the island with the federation. And I know it's going to be a tall task because there is some furnitures in there that's been there a while.
All right. So respect and thanks. And thanks for coming on. You brought a different perspective to the conversation. And maybe I need to extend it a lot more in the future because at least I don't have to fight. Because once I'm here with them, believe me, it's World War 50. I don't want to be here, you know, because, yeah. Some of these dudes, yeah. So thanks for passing through, man. We will link up, no problem. Respect again, yeah?
All right, bless up.
Well, it's good meeting you, Francis.
Yes, sir. Can't we talk to you again?
All right.
Bless up.
All right, so we will make Francis go and get his kid and stuff. I'm gonna just do the ads in the end with me and Andre, and then we run out of here. All right, so hold on, let me get this one. So we have the ads. As what we said, people, the link is right there. Yeah, man, that approach is best because remember, you know, it's not like I want to fight with them, but because I want to give people information so much, and their brains won't let them just realize that I have to beat them every single day. 16 lashes, you know? Sorry. Yeah, so I have to dust them out per day. You understand me? Yes, I have to dust them out per day.
Some people need that, JD.
Yes, I have to dust them out per day and let them go and research something else, and then we come back and fight again a little more. Make sure you smash the like button, guys. I will put both of these guys' link in the description and also in the pinned comment. So make sure to support them. But what I want, I've not checked back on the donation. Remember, we had a donation, people, that we said we are running through today and tomorrow. I'm going to close it tomorrow to GoFundMe to help Jamaica. So the storm that passes in Jamaica, we're planning next week, Saturday, to buy at least over 1,500 so far out of stuff. We wanted to be 2,000 euros so we can get as much. But what's there, we have to just use, all right? And obviously everything will be fully transparent when it happens. But you can still donate. Doesn't matter how small it is, because if you donate $1 and 400 more people donate $1, it reaches the target. So don't look at how much you're donating. Just donate something, and it will definitely helps. All right, yeah, man. So yeah, thanks again. Yes. Andre, Omar, we're not fighting. We're not fighting you, Omar. You are one of the human beings that said that Curacao will win. You know, JD, you're KFC waiting, and no. I think my lady cooked spaghetti. Spaghetti I'm eating today. I ate rice and stew peas yesterday, and the day before rice and peas, and I think beef. Yeah, so today I'm eating more Belgian food, you know, spaghetti. So Belgian food is spaghetti, potato, fries, you know, yeah. So sometimes you get to eat my Belgian food, you know, yeah, because that's what they want to eat. I can't every day making two pots, you know. It's kind of costly, you know. It's a lot of money, man. So to be Jamaican in a different country, it's a load of money I have to spend, you know, every week. You go into different countries to buy things, you know, but it is what it is, you know. Andre, can you cook? What kind of football question? What kind of football question? What in the world in the football question? Andre.
Hey, I've been cooking all my life, my friend.
Oh my God. All right,
life.
Sanjay, you have time or are you ready to go? Because they look at I want to ask you a bunch of questions, you know.
Yeah, well, I see Odell is asking about my opinion on what Jack Warner said about Trinidad and Tobago qualifying. If we're thinking about the same statement, I think it's a factual statement. To qualify for the World Cup flat out, you needed to beat Jamaica and you needed to beat Curacao. And what he said is that if you can't beat those two teams, then you don't deserve to go to the World Cup. And that's a reality. I don't see anything controversial about that. It's factual. So I would agree with that statement. You needed to beat them.
Belgian waffle is just like a side order. But you would have known that if you actually just researched it. Belgian waffle is nothing like a dinner thingy. All right. The only thing I don't really like so much about like steaks, you know, you have different grades of steaks. Never really knew that much because I wasn't interested in that, you know. I think, as you know, you're gonna eat. I think it's much more different from what I know because in Jamaica, you cook through meats a lot more, you know. That's the only difference, you know. So I never really liked that. So all of my food have to be cooked through a lot better. And that's it, because I'm still a Jamaican based on what I am used to. But in my principles, I am not what Jamaica is today. That's the only difference. And that's why I mean, you guys that maybe is what Jamaica is today, fights. I'm a little bit older, you know. I'm not still young, you know. I might still look young, but I'm not young at all, you know. I'm getting old, you know. I'm getting old, blood. I am not 20 anymore, you know.
I have Triple is asking about
who can see
Max is talking about Palau and Triple E. Look, at the end of the day, I'm lucky, right? My wife is from Trinidad, so what I don't cook, she cooks, so we can just do about anything.
Oh, so your wife is from Trinidad as well?
Yeah,
okay,
I wouldn't cook the doubles, but she would cook the doubles. So there's so we can cover the whole spectrum between the both of us.
I was not generalizing, Richard Green. I specifically stated that what Jamaica is today, you still have some is mean is in that sentence just simply means majority. Did you got that from the statement, Andre?
Yeah.
Like I was saying, everybody, nobody excluded, or I meant majority, because when
you know who you're talking to, right? You know who you're responding to, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So Richard Green, the sentence that I've used just a while ago, everyone knew that I was saying majority, like what is trending. So Richard Green, you should not deal with me like that, because you know that I'm intelligent enough to know what I wanted to say, and I think that you're intelligent enough to understand what I'm saying. Or you're just a troublemaker.
But he's probably trying to raise your blood pressure. So
yes, I realize that. Who can season better? What? Listen, Andre does a cooking food. People, what kind of question is that?
You know
what is doubles, Andre? What is doubles?
I have not had KFC anywhere in decades, to be honest with you.
KFC, Andre?
In decades, yeah, I've not had it in decades, yeah.
KFC is the greatest food on planet Earth.
I don't really do believe me like that, sir.
No, but KFC gave me PTSD, Andre, because you know, back in the days in Jamaica, I had a spell in Jamaica around 6 years when I reached a level that I don't even know where I'm going to go in life. Like, I have education, but I have enough money around me. I have enough everything around me. So I have houses, cars, and everything. And then I started to go into the party. And once you go into that life, you kind of lose your way. You understand me? So I had a 4-year spell that I lost my way. I keep the parties and all sort of madness, you know, and all I was living on is just KFC.
Yeah.
So I just eat some KFC and then go up to Oaklands and just sleep and come down to party again, and then I go to what. First time I work, Andre, and I save 100 euros, and my wife went to Netherlands, and I bought the KFC. It was a celebration that I could have afforded the KFC, a bucket of KFC for myself in a corner. But no, I can buy as much KFC, and I still celebrate it like I couldn't. So Andre, I know it's not healthy. But it's an achievement for me to tell me where I'm coming from.
To tell me where you're coming from. I just
yes.
Chicken is a funny one for me. But last time I was in Jamaica, you know, staying on the resort, I had somebody try to help me out with some patty, because I like Jamaican patty. Tasties is probably, I think, is the best. And he didn't only bring patty, he bought some KFC. And I didn't want KFC, you know? It's like...
Andrew, I'm not reading the chat anymore. I'm just reading all the comments because I'm done.
What's that?
You know?
They say you're greedy?
No. That's why I'm chunky.
That's why you're chunky. That's
why I'm chunky. What part of me chunky? Brother, I have on my thingy here. So you can't... Yeah, that is JD. And JD, that's not the Jamaican way. Those were your personal choice. No, I never said the KFC part is about being Jamaican. I'm just saying remember, I grew myself, and I never had a mother. I never had a father, and I never grew up with my mother. You understand me? So I had to do things on my own for a while, you know. And it made me make some decisions. That's why I never came here acting like I'm perfect. But I've learned, and I don't want others to go through the same thing. Because it's good for you not to live for yourself, you know, when you can educate someone through your mistakes and don't want them to make the same mistake. That is true love. That is true respect for people, because you want them to be a better version of yourself. And I think I love nothing more than somebody being better than me. I love when I see somebody from behind being better than me. I love that. That is my principle. You understand me? So come on, man. All right.
You might need to send this people to KFC.
What I said?
You should get some sponsorship. You're promoting KFC.
Yeah, said something. No, but Andre, you need to come and try the KFC in Netherlands, because I had said that I think the KFC in Netherlands can rival Jamaica. And they said, JD, you're mad, man, you just ate Jamaica, this, that. And then when Asafa Powell came and said the same thing, Andre, so when he comes to Belgium and Netherlands, he has to go for the KFC. They said Asafa Powell a sell out long time.
Does the KFC in Belgium have the skin on the chicken?
Yes, I think they fry it with the skin and chicken, but maybe the double frying that they don't. You don't like that?
Nah, I do skin and chicken.
Andre, come on, man. You undetermined, a pure green leaf you guys talk about, you know, man. Like, what is the right way to eat? What food can you think that we should eat?
Who's asking? You asking me that?
Yes, I'm asking you because based on how you undetermined how you treat me in the chat, I have to ask you know.
I wouldn't tell people what to eat. I mean, people eat.
No, but what is healthy? You know, what is healthy, you know?
Well, you know, obviously in a general sense, vegetables is good. You know, for like I do eat meat, but I don't buy meat in the grocery store. I get my meat from a different source. You know, it's fresh, the way it is prepared. So I do some things different in that regard. But what I've learned is that whatever it is you consume, the quantity in which you consume it in, right? I think the main thing for people is to stay away from the processed sugar and that kind of stuff, you know? I think that's the stuff that really hurts you. But I just don't like doing fast food. It's different.
So processed sugar, that is once it's the amount what you consume and the processed sugar.
Yeah, I think those are the things that hurt you. So
believe me, not getting any sugar in your body for 2 or 3 days, I am telling you, you guys need to try that. Believe me. you might realize that the world that you're seeing in front of you might not be the world. All right. Yeah, because the world is. Yeah, Andrea, I was sick a while and I never consumed any sugar for a while, like at least 2 to 3 days. And believe me, your body start change, your brain.
Yeah.
I think sugar is drugs, people. Sugar is drug, Andre. Sugar
is not good. It's not good for you.
Sugar is drug, people. Sugar is drug. Please try it and then you can come back and talk. Yeah, so good convo, people. We are gonna leave it here because I know that Andrew have to run and myself have to run because I have to eat the food and I don't want to go eat the food late to bed. All right. So thanks anybody that donated. I will check and then after tomorrow I will do a stream and we can continue on where we started and then that's it for the week. JD, what are Jamaica's chances against New Caledonia? We said that in the stream, Richard Green. We said that Jamaica should win if they build any quality squad and they play any level of football. They should be the favorites going in. The problem I have is to make the World Cup. I think that maybe beating Congo might be a stretch too far if they can't add anything to the team and they really have a system by then. It's going to be a tough one because Congo is a good tier team, like a tier that is either top tier Concacaf or above Concacaf level. Because I think that they will beat Mexico and United States as well. I actually think that they will beat them, based on what I saw. This Congo team could beat USA and Mexico as well. So that makes them as a favorites going into any game against Jamaica. And Jamaica has to get some pieces. They have a long time. 3 months, Andre, 3 months.
Yeah.
3 months to find players. Just find some players from somewhere, get a system, and go out there and fight hard.
Yeah, but I don't think it's so much players is because I think the group of players are, especially the ones that's playing. It's a good group of players. I think it's everything behind them is probably where the improvement is needed. Getting the right person in that they're going to respect and go work for. And fixing a lot of the things around them, because this means so much if they have to get the Jamaican government involved. These guys are coming out from elite football environments. They get everything taken care of, every single thing. They show up for breakfast in the morning, they get breakfast taken care of. They get lunch to eat there. They get lunch to take home, right? They have the best training facilities. You just got to make it right for them. If you're going to bring players from outside, you got to make it right for them.
Yeah. Being comfortable, you can produce a lot of things. I know that we said that we are resilient and we should have nothing and we should work hard. I think sometimes we need to stop following those little beliefs, I think people are actually doing it, but they can't understand it. You understand me? Yeah, that's what I think. The resilience, foolishness that we class as resilience might not be that. Because some of these kids, I think that they are doing more than what you think. And I'm glad that we got an article that gives you a little peek behind the covers to show you that these guys are more committed than even a lot of you guys. Because a lot of you guys ain't watching the game if ain't somebody not paying for it to go to the stadium and driving you to the stadium. But these guys are coming here, paying their way, working in bad conditions, sleeping bad, when they're billionaires in Jamaican currency. And they ain't complaining. They're still out there trying to give their all for you. So, and I would love for the JFF to sell more of that to the people. You understand me? Because that's what people would have had affinity towards. But they tend to avoid these things. So I'm glad that this article came out with that. We have Sean Clark donated $10 US. Massive respect, Sean Clark. Let me know which part of the reasoning you like so far. All right? Massive respect for that. Yes, so Andre, we're gonna cut it right here, big boss. Because I know you're a busy man. So thanks for passing through, Sir Andre. And I'm gonna try and put a link for the Instagram because I really want a lot of these people go there because what that would have done, it would have helped me for them to stop fight with me because it would have given them some more understanding.
As long as they ain't gonna start fighting with me because I ain't fighting.
No, they ain't gonna stop it. No, they're gonna respect you. You know why? Because they think they can be me, but they don't think they can be you.
Right.
That's the problem. Yes. So that's powerful,
That's powerful.
Yes.
All right, brother.
All right.
All right, take care.
So respect people, take care, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.